Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Bardtic and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventure.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another stream or episode of the Golden Feather. Today is April 30th, 2021, and this is podcast 77, Bardtic Inspiration, featuring Bardtic. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. How's everyone doing today?
Nice.
Good. How about yourself?
Fantastic.
I am stoked. You know, we're getting closer to Alpha 1. The live stream was amazing today, so
It was.
you know, we definitely got to see some stuff we have never seen before.
Super excited to elaborate on that. I'd also like to welcome back Vertek, co-host.
Oh, hi, everybody. And by the way, Theater Elf, thank you so much for that sub right there as
And
we get
Wizzy.
into the intro. And Wizzy, holy moly.
Thank you so much.
So many great peoples.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Basil's
Much
in the
appreciated.
future. It's okay. Everybody's like, but it's May. I'm like, okay. For us, it's April. So we have caught up to episode 54 right now, with 55 coming out tomorrow, featuring Tavernside Gaming. Monday brings us to episode 56, featuring this guy right over here, Bardtic.
This guy.
So
Doubling up all the action.
exactly. You get to see him now, and then again on Monday from our old stream from October 30th.
A
So
little present and past comparison there.
yeah, exactly.
You
You
know,
know,
the
like,
magnificent beard has come to grow and
I've
flourish.
been growing that one out. I decided to go full COVID, and I was like, you know what? No, we'll see how long this lasts. It's getting hot though, so.
I like that. Full COVID. Good evening, friends. Good evening, Wizzy. And that being said, I've noticed some of our community members. Oh man, we got a hype train incoming. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Faisal.
Dun, dun.
Thank you so much,
You
Faisal.
honor us.
Bagel, thank you.
Mr. Bagel. Mr. Bagel.
But some of us have been playing D&D. I know Veritek and I have plans to play D&D as well. And
Ooh.
hello from Snake. To kind of kick that off, we found on Kickstarter, where we backed Ashes of Creation almost 4 years ago now, in May. Yeah, so 4 years ago we backed Ashes of Creation on Kickstarter, and we have now found another D&D. It's not really a campaign book, but more of a one-shot / lull filler for like between your main campaigns, and it's called Tavern Tales. And I'll put the link in there if you guys would like to join us in backing them. They have I think only like 10 or 20 days left, and it'll be out this December officially. Thank you, Theater, for the cheer.
Yes, thank you for that. Topping us right over to the next level.
You may notice a lack of ears happening up here. My headphones officially have been confirmed by Razer to be malfunctioning, so I have sent them back in, and hopefully in 2 weeks I'll get a new pair. So
Busted.
type on the stream title. Oh, okay, I will check that. Thank you.
Bardtic's name is missing a D in the second part.
Okay, it's just Bardtic, you know, because we're
Bardic.
at a bar.
Bardic. So, whilst she fixes that, for those who do not know you, could you please tell us a little bit about you, dear sir?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm Bardic. I stream on Twitch when I can. I was, not working during COVID and streaming a lot more. I'm back to work full time, unfortunately, but we try to play D&D a couple times a week whenever we can get people together. The last couple weeks has been rough with various people having real life commitments and whatnot, but Wizzy and T-Elf are both members who play with us. Yeah, and we try to play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then what I'm working on, which this project has kind of been put on the back burner a little bit, but I am working on trying to do a West Marches style Ashes of Creation themed campaign. So that would
Nice.
be like a campaign that anyone can join. Whoever can play at during each session can jump in. You can have anywhere from like 10 to 30 players involved in the campaign. And it's more about the world setting than it is about like the individual groups and party members. And then, yeah, you just go out on quests. But yeah, when I have some more free time, when I stop being so busy at work, I think I just worked like 60 or 70 hours in the last 5 days. So yeah, that will be coming back up. Yeah, and that'll be the focus, is getting that West Marches style AOC campaign up and running and getting as many people involved as possible. Would
you be interested in the Tavern Tales?
Maybe.
They actually, on their Kickstarter, they're doing a thing where they also have like the reach goals, and they just unlocked the Tattooed Wanderer, which is, I think, a warlock subclass.
Yeah,
it looks so cool.
Yeah, they made 2 different subclasses for this little thing anyway, because basically the big story about it is the Tavern Tales is focused around a specific tavern that was opened up by a circus performer or a circus owner, I forget. But either way, his name was Flip, and he made this tavern, and it's a great place for say not the above board activities in the area, because it's central to a whole lot of stuff. And the first story, like the first volume of their little series, is going to be centered around the circus where Flip came from. And so they had 2 subclasses made, the Tattooed Wonder, which is a warlock, and then Bear Owl Tamer, which is a ranger. Ranger type.
Yeah, I have the Kickstarter pulled up. I'll look into it after this little podcast here. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a huge fan of like smaller indie companies coming out with tabletop adventures, because as much as I do love D&D, Wizards of the Coast, they take too much money from me for bullshit. I have to buy each book on like 4 different platforms to be able to use it all appropriately. It's like, God damn it.
Thank you.
Oh, Brown Rice.
Hello, Brown Rice.
And Dread.
And Dread, yes. Thank you, Dread, so much for
much
the
appreciated.
bits. Super appreciate that, and thank you for the sub. Okay, so one more thing before we get into, get going here, and this is a biggin'. And that is, wow, all the hype. Thank you. Ah, see, welcome
so nice.
to Subhood.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brown Rice.
So appreciated.
Hype. I don't have like the hype thing. This is our
Level
hype.
3.
This is our hype.
Hype.
I can't wait to travel. I think I've never actually gone anywhere. Yes, I love the hammers and the hearts and the paladin in chat. Thank you. The righteous hammer. Ooh, is that your emote I see, Bardtic?
It is.
Oh.
It's one of my emotes. Fancy.
We'll have to see when you're live so that we can retweet your live stuff, so that way people come.
I like the name of it, Loot Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those are my 4 emotes.
Oh, that's cute. Cute.
Fail.
Yeah. Nice. Okay,
right, so
we have a lot to cover.
We do.
From our live stream today.
Guys.
Yes. So buckle up. Get your popcorn, get your drink. I've got mine. Get ready. Get settled. We have
this Friday night and I don't have beer in the house. God.
Oh man. Ooh, that's rough. Gotta go get it.
So then, sir, what would you say was possibly the biggest impact, like single bullet point out of today's live stream?
Oof.
I think the biggest thing for me is the coming content creator stuff. That's from a selfish aspect, right? Because obviously, I would aspire to be one of the official content creators. I love gaming, but I've never found a project that I am quite as passionate about as something like Ashes, and want to see it succeed. So yeah, I'm a smaller content creator. I don't know if I'll be big enough or be able to fulfill the requirements for it, but hey, at least finding out what it is and working towards it is going to be very motivating and awesome for me.
That's fair. Who dat, Gildum?
Yeah, it's about where we're at.
Yeah, but how about you guys? What do you guys think? I think there's the one thing that so many people are happy about.
The Alpha 1 key.
Yeah.
Yep, available for purchase May 5th. It's $500 to be fair for the people that originally bought it, and it's available for new and existing backers. You can upgrade to it if you already have a back level, or if you've been waiting for this. I know it's $500, but hear me out. They said it's similar to the original Kickstarter package, in which it had like game time in it and all of the going forward testings in it. Sometimes from what I've experienced, you will get into a testing before people for, like, let's say Alpha 2. Yes, 500 American dollars. You'll get into it before, say, people who have actual Alpha 2 access could get in. That's from what I've been able to understand from previous, like, Alpha 0 testing stuff.
Yeah, and as Steven said too, right? Like, you're not buying a game, you're buying a support package. You're giving them money to help them continue their development and keep producing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to look at it as that, not as I'm spending $500 on this game. It's like, no, this is a project that you love and are passionate about, and that's what you're spending the money on.
Yeah.
I would say if you can't afford $500, don't spend the money. It's not the end of the world, right?
Right. Jeffrey Bardtic.
Yeah,
I'll take that one. I need my own
that.
Thomas the Tank. I might have to order a Thomas the Tank.
I did change my hair.
But it's got to be like a knockoff, like a little knockoff version of one.
Yeah, I was saying that they need to put a little Easter egg in the game somewhere where you, like, come up and there's this little wooden Thomas the Tank in someone's house.
Actually, you know what? There you go. There's a Halloween costume for you. You could be a generic, like, off-brand Jeffrey Bardtic, and just get your own little, like, off-brand Thomas the Tank hanging out in the background.
What else are common for Jeffrey? What is part of
Geoff? Geoff for a name.
Geoff. Yeah, that's fair.
Geoff.
There was also the Princess Castle. So, like, little Princess Castle with the Thomas the Train coming away from it. He went to Bardtic College.
But yeah, that the Alpha 1 was definitely big news for a lot of people. The big thing that I saw people kind of upset about, I guess they didn't hear when Steven mentioned it earlier, is the cosmetics being single claim only.
Oh yeah.
Which I think it's just dandy myself.
Oh shit, big raid coming in.
Paradox.
Hello, welcome in. Hi.
Well, hello, sir.
Hello.
Welcome
to
everyone.
the show.
We were just talking about you. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, one thing I noticed from the stream is everybody is saying, when is Jalon gonna get the interview? That just kept
a lot of
popping
people
up
were
over
saying
and over.
that.
Oh yeah. The
I feel like
only is under
I
review.
feel like you want it
good to
right
know.
when the alpha stuff is out.
Right.
Okay. Single claim Umbra.
I like the idea of making them single claim with a cooldown, right? So you can transfer them if you want to, but like a decent little cooldown, so you're not just like swapping between all the characters constantly.
Yeah, because there's the thing with that is, like, the statement he made before is he wants the stuff to feel exclusive, so you're not going to see all these people running around with it. And the counterpoint to that somebody has brought up was, well, if I only have it on one character, is it really that much more rare if it's on all of my characters, but I'm only logged in as one at a time? Yeah, it still makes it more rare because it takes that extra step to transfer it to another character.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you're not going to transfer as often, so you're not going to see it around the world as often.
Yeah, and especially like with things like I would say earned achievements. So if you've earned something that like the top 1% earn, right? You did some raid that very few people get and you get some cosmetic reward from it. I like the idea of it not being on all your alts, right? I like it that like you're putting that badass achievement on your main character, and that's the only person that sees it really, unless you switch to it like a main as an alt or something like that. It does make it feel more badass when you put that legendary skin on or something like that.
Well, then there's also things like this may look good for this character, but my alt would look better in that, you know, so it's kind of nice. Hey guys, welcome in. Thanks for the follows.
Yeah, and hey there, Birdie and Holy Basher. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome. One thing I did notice was that they brought up a lot of the older cosmetics, and I saw them on like the different, like dwarven and then elven, like the different sizes. But what I missed completely was the Titan bark set, which looks like a cleric mixed with a druid. If you could.
It does, yeah.
And I was like, oh,
yeah, it looks really nice.
I think a few people in chat said they wanted more of that like white gold looking sets. So we'll see. But once again, as they said, there will be comparable stuff that you can earn in game to most of this. Hopefully you'll be able to find something.
Yes.
Much appreciated, Crucible. You guys are awesome.
Yes. 2 months.
Oh man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the
great people
love.
always coming back. I love it.
Yes. Welcome everybody. Welcome. All right. There is a heck of a lot that's been posted on Reddit and the forums. So where do we want to begin?
Wherever you want. We can take it from the top if you want.
Dive right in.
Yeah. Dealer's choice. Ready, set, go.
Wait, me?
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no.
break out your 20-sided die and roll.
I mean, I will. Where is it? Okay. Actually, I have this right here.
Oh, fancy dice.
Oh, you're actually rolling your die?
I'm gonna do it. Why not?
Is that a fancy die too? Is it like a gemstone dice?
Yeah, it's not very good at focusing, not on me, but it's rose quartz from Woodworm. It was a gift. Woodworm. But I got a 6. So true gamer roll for it exactly. So go 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Fisherman Sushi wrote an article on having equipable artisanal tools. I said it. I was having problems with that word before stream. I was like, how do I even say this? So it's more of a question. And he said this question is about having the ability to equip artisanal tools in the weapon slot to really complete the immersion factor as an artisanal class focused player. So as a profession, Madman, I've been waiting for games like AOC that will hopefully make professions more relevant and more of an integral part of an MMORPG. Obviously, there is still a ton of information that needs to be released. One of my favorite things in older games was the ability to have items such as fishing poles, mining picks, axes, etc. in my hand to really complete the whole look I was going for. I'm aware that Steven and Jeff have said that there will be artisanal gear such as clothing, but they never said anything about items for the weapon slots. Since we've seen a small simplified version of resource gathering, it seems the tools are just deployed from the inventory depending on what node you're harvesting, and that is what makes me worried. Does anyone else have similar opinions, or is this more of a want than a need for MMORPGs?
A lot of information there.
Yeah.
I kind of I do agree. I think it's more of a want than a need. I don't think it's required. It is a nice little quality of life thing. Yeah, I hope they don't make you like actually have to equip it every time you harvest a node, though, right? Because that would get super annoying.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
that's been something that bothered me in some other games before. Because if I'm going from one thing to the next thing, there's a bunch of stuff in the middle, and it's an open PvP world, so it can be one hell of a decision to make. Do I let myself be completely defenseless because I'm picking out a shoveling spade to dig up some herbs, and then I can't even fight off anybody who does come attack me? I don't know.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Zerdius.
Zerdius, thank you.
Like, let me
Appreciate it.
think. I mean, I played a bunch of different games: World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, BDO, Guild Wars. I don't even know what else. But you pick herbs with a shovel? Holy moly! But I don't know. For me, it's one of those things like maybe having a quick equip would be more worth it. I do like the ability to fight any moment I need to be able to fight in case somebody is attacking me. So
We do have to remember
thyself.
also, they've said that there's going to be different qualities of like gathering tools, right? And they're going to break over time. So you're probably not going to want to use your mithril pickaxe on like a piece of copper or two.
yeah.
So maybe maybe you do have like a specific gear slot like next to your character that is separate from your weapon slot that you can equip stuff in, and then there's a button just like in any other MMO that if you want to like pull it out and display it, right?
That's fair.
Well, I mean, that's how BDO does it, right? They have a whole separate like gathering gear slot.
I
Yeah.
have
Just
not
stuff it
played
into it. It
BDO.
just kind of hangs out there,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty neat.
I used a diamond pickaxe to mine gravel once. Hello, Dante.
Trying to make gravel dust
Just-
there. Right.
Just straight flex, right?
Yeah, right.
Pull out your diamond pickaxe in front of a bunch of noobs.
Interesting. Why don't you make the best of both worlds? Make a main war pickaxe something you can take to battle and harvest stuff.
I mean, it's got to have some crazy piercing damage. That's for sure.
Right?
What if they made gathering tools all have their own weapon skill trees?
Oh,
You can
man.
spec into spec
man.
into like your shovel or whatever.
That would be a
Yeah, since
headache
Z
when
doesn't
it
like
came-
anyone herbing with
Oh, yeah.
spades, so I guess I'd have to go down my like shears skill tree. Snip snip.
Snip, snip.
Have you guys watched that series on? It's on. I think it's on Amazon Prime or might be something else, but it's about a video game company. And it's a comedy.
man.
It came out recently, but in that they have like a shovel that is just like basically one of the add-ons to the shovel is just like extra gore. So just like whenever you hit someone, just blood flies everywhere with this shovel.
Oh, man.
Okay, I could dig it. I could dig it. We got Wizzy the Logger over here.
Mystic Quest. Nice, nice.
Yeah, Mystic Quest. There we go. It's actually a really good series. I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for something to watch, check it out.
Guild
Okay.
Emperor wants to know what we ate for dinner prior to the stream. That's a trick question. We didn't eat before the stream.
Yeah, I didn't eat before the stream. I
And
haven't
I'm
eaten since
drinking
morning,
sparkling.
actually.
Yeah.
Then straight work and then stream.
I ate Subway. I was like, I need to eat something before stream. So in between the other stream and that stream, I was like, I'm running out and grabbing this real quick.
I mean, after this, we'll see what happens, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Some shrimp pasta or something.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh. No spam. Rip. 500 token spam right there. What are you sipping on?
Sipping on some flavored water.
From Harris Teeter. But
I'm drinking Rocky Mountain Snow Melt.
ooh, that sounds good.
Mm.
We want
It's
to get
literally
like
just water.
the tavern, the tavern-looking ale pitchers glass things. Like I want to get one of those. I don't know, tankard. Is that what they're called? Tankard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Ren Fair in Houston this year, and I'm planning to pick one up.
So excited to go to a Ren Fair again. I miss it so badly. When are you guys coming over from some steaks on the grill and some brews? Oh, soon. TM.
Could probably do next weekend, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe.
Time will tell.
So, did you guys see the scale runner that Steven leaked?
Yes.
Did you know that that's an animal husbandry only mount?
I did.
That I think is pretty cool.
He said it though.
Yes.
Yeah. He said when he leaked it the last time.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think that is a combination of? Because that's the real question.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously the scale runner.
Yeah.
But the flail runner, like just looking at that thing.
I mean, I think it has something to do with the tail, right? The tail is a flail.
Yeah.
So it could be like one of the rhinos or something. Yeah.
Maybe.
Mixed with the stegosaurus, pretty sure.
Silky and pony.
The other thing I wanted to point out was the Kieran in the video today were different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little
Those are Kieran, and they said those are obtainable only mounts.
Okay, I was
that was leaked in a previous dev stream. Yeah.
I really want one. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. But the question is, silver or gold?
Or
Silver.
can you get other colors once you breed them?
Like a purple.
Well, I know because it was during a live stream when they talked about it before, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they showed it in, I think
Copper.
it was still development phase, but.
Yeah. But it was like one of them was going to be a cosmetic and the other one was going to be obtainable in game. I forget which was which.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you're able to get different color variations through animal husbandry. If that's going to be a thing or not. Because then, because like you can get, it's kind of like in Ark, you can get color mutations and different colors are like super rare. And so if that will be a thing that people will go after, it's like a certain color variation of certain animals.
And Lore brought up something else with the flail runner, a bearded dragon type, because it has like a lot more neck flare and whatnot.
I did that wrong.
I could see that because they also have like the spiky kind of things up here, which would tie into having like the flail on the tail too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Umbra wants to know, tank with a spear or a sword and board?
Sword and board.
Board and spear. How about that?
Not tanking.
There you go. Short spear.
Yeah, I like short spears way better. Nice. I don't know if anyone's ever read the Stormlight Archive, but like the spear fighters in that are just awesome.
Yeah. I'm actually about to wrap up basically that entire series.
Nice.
Boy.
So what did you want to talk about for talk?
I was gonna say someone was having a conversation. Speaking of gears and such.
Yes.
Someone was having a conversation on their forums about bulkier gear. And they were saying basically, even though Steven and them have said that they are steering away from like the giant chunky wearing a small child on your shoulders, and every gear set up needs to have bigger shoulder pads. They kind of want there to be some gear that is obtainable that has a bigger look to it, and I think they kind of showed off a piece of that in the live stream today. That little ice set with like the shoulder pad blade things.
The ice set,
even
and
Steven said it's a chunkier armor.
And the one from March, that red bone set, the lava and bone set. That one had pretty like chunky stuff as well.
Yeah.
Everyone was calling it like the Lich King armor.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It basically is
the armors. They showed them both off today too. There was the frosty one and the lava one.
I wonder if that was in response to that. I mean, one thing I noticed, and it was one of my complaints earlier on that they have actually already started fixing, was originally whenever I saw their helmets looked like glued to the head. It looked like there's no space for a hair or padding or anything like that. I thought it looked weird. And I've noticed as they progressed, each new month, I've seen the helmets seem to be getting better and better. So I don't know if they saw that as well, or if it's just different helmets are not quite as, I guess.
Who needs
the head?
Who needs padding? Real men get it glued to their face.
Yeah, because that really protects you from a shot.
Basil says
Just
they're
saying,
just
nobody
bald.
can pull it off your head in battle. They're just bald. Yeah. Especially the Imperians are Greco-Roman inspired. If we can't spear and shield combat, what are they even doing? Says V for Viola.
Yeah, continuing on with the board, a sword and board kind of chat.
Yeah.
Question: with those two
Answer.
armor pieces that you guys were talking about, were those past cosmetics that you could purchase? Because they
Yes.
kind of looked like things that you could possibly get off of the dragons that they showed today. As like
That would have been
craftable
dandy
gear.
too.
There might be a version from the dragons. I could see that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was March of last year was the what's it called?
The
The
evil
red
thing.
one.
The red one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one that
And
lasted
then-
like 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the other one was
The other one was from this past December.
Yeah.
December or
So, yeah.
January, I forget.
But as Margaret also said, they're using these cosmetics to populate the world. So it's not just they're creating this one cosmetic, they're creating this cosmetic and then using that as the base for a bunch of different variations for the world itself.
Yep. And also, just as you can see from when they're doing their live developments, you can see past cosmetics as creatures just roaming around in the world. So it's kind of cool.
Z said you don't remember the octopus cloak? I think that's an upcoming set. I don't think that's a past one. I think they're actually.
yeah.
It looks like maybe they're starting to get ahead of the curve, and they're able to show us what the stuff will look like before we pay for
Oh,
it.
I hope that octopus
Which would be
cloak is
amazing.
upcoming,
Too.
because I want that. That thing was amazing. I love anything Cthulhu, and that just is like perfect
Yeah,
Cthulhu.
I was in that. Like instantly, I saw that, and I was like, "Yep, that's the Cthulhu summoner cloak
I
right
just-
there."
And then
I saw
see
her
it.
eyes light up when they started talking about it moving, and like when you hit
Yeah.
the water. I really hope they run with that because that'd be amazing. You jump in the water, and the little tentacles just start going.
Oh.
And
They have
Z
this
asked, "Did you notice Maggie said all the races?" I think I think that was just the races we have so far, though. I think it was elves, humans, and dwarves.
Yeah.
So I did not see anything that looked remotely Renkai, like massive orc. But she said all.
Aw.
I mean, you know, I'd have to go back and look because I didn't get a chance yet to rewatch the video like I normally
Yeah.
do. But I know there was a bunch of people figures, but I don't know how many races are represented.
There's only
in there.
6 figures total, though. So, and I think it was a male and a female from each race, or
Yeah.
each of the 3 races we've seen.
Oh, and she says the armor. Aw. Cthulhu verse is undistributedly my favorite universe. Hope to see some Lovecraft themed stuff in Ashes. Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty sure
Steven.
there's gonna be some.
Yeah, Steven is a huge D&D Pathfinder, that whole world player. So I'm sure there will be some stuff similar.
Plus pirates.
I mean, I'm sure you had to have seen in the APOC streams. Every time when people were streaming APOC, the little starting area would have a bunch of statues, and some of the statues were little squids and tentacles flopping around everywhere. So
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed
we
that
have yet to
Steven
discover what
seems
that's all about.
Steven seems to really like tentacles and mushrooms. I've noticed that he does a lot of stuff
Yes.
with that.
hidden sandals, hidden mushrooms, hidden duckies.
Yeah, we do need a duck mount. I definitely want a duck mount.
Somebody says duck
Yes.
mount or rage.
Dig it, dig it.
Is there anything looking interesting to you over there, Mr. Bardtic?
I like so Dolium had a forum post here. I can read it out.
Yep, let me grab that link and share it with you guys.
Yeah.
Hello, Theater Elf.
So Dolium he was basically just throwing out ideas for cool and different quests from your standard. I want, pick up the quest, go here, kill some monsters, come back. Trying to keep it fresh and different so it doesn't become that same standard grind. And he was just asking for people's ideas. I think he said he wants a new take on quests. Too often they are just They're just irritating due to awful AI, just sort of meandering along. Cliche, too injured. This is on Escort Quest. Too injured or too tired to move. He's hoping for some dynamic where you can do escorts, but you can choose different ways to go. So you might like come to a crossroads and have to decide, and one way might be harder than the other, but be more rewarding, and that kind of stuff. And I think that's a kind of cool idea. And then I had a couple ideas that I would like to see in quests, and they're more like player-based quests. So Steven's already said, right, that he wants to have quests like potentially where one player will have to steal something from another player. But I also I think if two nodes go to war, I think assassination quests of like the enemy node's mayor would be awesome. So that mayor has to like run around with a bodyguard escort, or potentially like get killed and give the enemy a bunch of materials to help them in their node war. I think some King of the Hill quests would be kind of cool. So like parties of 8 have to hold a certain area, and whoever holds it for the most amount of time ends up with a bunch of rewards. And then also kind of like what Margaret already said, like a Holy Grail quest where there's an item and it drops whenever someone dies, and your goal is to get it like from point A to point B. And so yeah, it's just this massive free for all. But basically quests like that where the game gives you these quests and then the players are the ones that actually enact it out, as opposed to just NPC stuff.
Yeah. So that last one was like Dead Man's Capture the Flag almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, the only tricky thing I see with some of those is going to end up being that it's going to really depend on people being online and active.
Yes.
And if they're not online and active during the time that you're playing, or participating in that type of event during the time you're playing, then you're kind of out of quest. Like the town mayor, it'd be nifty if they had like a cabinet of people that did things for the town as well. Like how you can have like a guild leader and then assistants and raid leaders and such.
Yeah.
Because then you could at least have ASMR lid sounds. But then you could at least have like, if the mayor isn't online, then the next highest ranking official could pop up on your map like a little red dot or something.
Yeah, I mean, and then I guess you don't want to put consequences on the mayor if they're not online, right? Because then you're forcing people to log on. But yeah, maybe a hierarchy there. And then as Laura says, doing this stuff during prime time and prime time events, server prime time stuff would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To keep it engaging. And then the other thing is like if it's at scheduled times and the rewards are high enough, there's gonna be people on regardless, right? Because they're gonna be like, all right, we got to get this. So, but yeah, as I said, I was just I mean, it's kind of that idea, like people look at things as quests and events, but kind of merging events and quests together a little bit is something that I thought would be really cool.
Yeah.
That's where I think I lack some imagination, because I bumped into that question of, besides just fetch it quests, and I always end up going, well, I mean, all quests really come down to, hey, I need you to do something for me, and it's usually get this, kill that, or go there.
But
that's true.
There's just a lot of variation somewhere in the middle. Sorry.
If you think about things like D&D, where you can have your typical go to this dungeon, kill this guy, bring back like whoever got missing or stolen goods or whatever. Then there's also the ones where it's like use your skills and try to figure out this thing, like find the hidden walkway into this way, which you can only do by using your skills, and then or climb up over here, which I guess would be a jumping puzzle. And just different things that utilize your character skill set or tool set, specifically not your fighting combat. I mean, sure, maybe a fighting thing might be useful, like hit that target over there with your range spell, and then like a platform will pop up or something, things like that. I'm really, really into those. I feel like it makes the game more exciting for me, even with D&D, where you're not doing your typical, okay, I hit somebody with my mace because I'm a cleric and I don't really have ranged attacks. But things like that, just, I don't know, adds more utility and usefulness to the character besides just fighting all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I really like puzzle quests. I think they're awesome. Unfortunately, in MMOs, people just follow the guide, because you don't want to stop and take the time to figure it out for yourself. If someone else already has the answer, you're falling behind if you don't spend the time to do it.
But there may not be a guide out.
That's true. At least for the first little while. Eventually then there's a guide, though, and that's always why like the launch of a game is the best part. And then once all these guides come out and know that not everyone is figuring it out for themselves, it stops being quite as entertaining.
Yeah. And speaking of figuring stuff out, fellow neckbeards ended up asking a question there about have they done much testing with the bounty hunter, or will that be more down the line? Not too sure if I've seen them do much on the corruption aspects. They really haven't talked much about the military nodes as far as specifics on bounty hunter stuff. Like they've talked about it to a degree, but we haven't gotten like the full in-depth know your nodes detailing. All we know right now is that you can be a bounty hunter if you're a member of a military node, and that means that people who are corrupted pop up on your mini-map and you can hunt them down and get prizes. It's like a little your own little carnival of blood and carnage.
Carnival of blood and carnage.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be something that will come in testing later, because it's not. I don't feel like it's a core mechanic system. I think it's something really nice on the side, but because anyone can kill someone who's corrupted, but the bounty hunters specifically have to do it. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But what else do we have here?
Oh, plenty.
Same Lotus on the Reddit posted a thing about seasonal effects and similar gimmicky things from classic AMOs in AOC. And this is more of a discussion on, and they're saying, hey, first time posting here, but have been following the game for a few years now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this has been addressed before. Will AOC embrace the classic MMO seasonal gimmicks, which we know they're not going to be, like a secret pumpkin boss spawns in a swamp of Halloween night, etc. Personally, these have always been a highlight for me in any game I played, as they foster a community around the same objective that may or may not be important. Basically, I'm interested in seeing what they have for seasonal items and events for Ashes of Creation lore, because as a lot of us who are already used to, that's what they said that they were going to be doing, is Ashes of Creation specific season and event stuff. So, that being said, what do you guys think?
Wait, so you said we know they're not? Have they said somewhere that they're not going to do seasonal stuff?
They're not following the typical like Halloween, Christmas stuff like that.
Yeah, because this was discussed. I had this discussion with someone a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure, and what I said was I don't like when it's cheesy, right? I don't like super cheesy gimmicky events. And what I would actually like to see Ashes do is, within the lore of their own world, have their own like holidays and events that happen on a yearly basis that have nothing to do with like our world, just to keep the immersion real. But there are like different harvest festivals and things like that has their own lore and own stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said something about that. There was going to be seasonal stuff and events that are going on to that like, but nothing tied directly to the real world. And we are.
I went to Tea Festival. That'd be really cool. Like, I think it'd be nice to have things that kind of mirror like real world, like a spooky-ish themed thing, not necessarily Halloween or like on Halloween, but like somewhere to still have like that nice vibe. Or like, I think Halloween, they went and did a going to a graveyard or a cemetery, because some of the local monsters were destroying the cemetery area or like harassing it, so they had to go like clear them out so the dead could have peace again or something like that.
They should just pull a direct 180 and put the the Day of the Dead celebration on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
February comes around and everything starts getting spooky and eerie.
That'd be fun. Some in-game holiday, not real life holiday would be sweet. Yeah, that's definitely what they're thinking of doing. They also had like the super pretty, we had that for a lovely treehouse. That was very like cherry blossom-esque freehold. So something spring related, maybe with the cherry blossoms, would be really nice.
That would be cool. Yeah, I think they have a lot of potential, and I'm pretty sure Steven is against anything that like every other MMO does. He's like, if they're doing it, we shouldn't do it.
I do like the idea of the world having its own holiday and traditions, like once a year on A4 coming back from the gates, giving thanks to the gods. Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
That's actually a cool idea. That would be a great holiday, like the rebirth into Vera.
The returning.
The return.
Yes.
And then sometime the portals actually come back to life and like enemies start coming through.
Oh man.
Gotta fight them off.
Oh lordy.
Protect
But
the
I don't know,
gates.
the role playing personality that Steven seems to have. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be all about adding some fun little holiday stuff to play around with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said this before, but I really hope if they ever have to do like a server merge, because they've said they'll do a server merge if like, populations die off on a server. I hope they have like an event where like there's hordes of monsters coming and you have to like retreat back and bring all your stuff through the portal. And then like you go through that portal into the new Vera for your merge. And there's actually a lore reason of why you're like uprooting the entire world, as opposed to just like, all right, servers merged. Good luck, everyone.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea, actually. It's pretty crafty. I dig it.
I mean, it would be cool to do even on a server that doesn't have to merge. Just be like, all right, fight off as many monsters as you can till you just die.
Which actually, so far with what we know of the lore, that could, in theory, be a thing that would make sense, because they haven't really confirmed if it's just another planet in the galaxy or if it's like another dimension or something like that when you go to Sanctus. So, or another plane of existence for that matter.
Yeah, it could
So
be a
if it's another
multiverse as
dimension.
well.
Yeah, exactly. So it could just be a whole different version of Vera. Hey, we got to escape this world. They found us again. Peace out.
That would be awesome.
Go to
By
the
the
other
way,
Vera.
the cleric emote matches the helm.
Ooh.
Those
I had
posters that they came out like right after they set up the website, and next thing you know, that they're not selling them anymore. I want more merch.
too.
People have been asking for more merch for a while. Yeah, hopefully they'll come out with more merch with the new logo and everything like that. I like the new logo way better than the old one, personally.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I would say it depends on what purpose they're using it for. Sometimes I like the old one, and sometimes I like the new one.
I think the old one has a little bit more foreshadowing of what the world is, potentially.
I agree.
True story. But speaking of traveling and going different places and whatnot, I thought there was a pretty cool post on Reddit by Fades, is how I'm going to pronounce it. Maybe it's Fadez, who knows, but Fades. Called Nodes Built by Guilds.
Oh, you already got
And basically, basically the summary of it was they're saying, wouldn't it be interesting if guilds were the reason that there were nodes built up all the way out in the middle of nowhere or on the edge of the map, because it could be a lucrative way for a guild to make money is building up their own separate node and doing trade and stuff like that. Because if you have one that's all the way out in the middle of nowhere that's built itself up, you could kind of have dominance of the area, unlocking things and whatnot.
Yeah, I think there's two things with this for me. One, we have to see how how far out there you can get in between the divine portals based on the population of each server. I don't know if there are going to be completely remote areas with 10,000 people on the server. It is a huge map, but I haven't seen like that ratio yet. That's the one thing I'm thinking of. And then the other is, if you're going to be a guild that's going to like immediately just head to this remote location, you have to be large enough to completely raise this node up on your own, right? Because I think it's going to take a massive amount of work to get an entire node raised from like level 1 to potentially Metropolis level. And I can't remember, do you need other nodes around you to level up to get your node leveled up?
I think that's just how it works. Zone of influence, right?
Yeah, and that was going to be one of the things that I had a question on, is if it could work. Say, it maybe right off the bat at the beginning of the game it could, but after a while, I don't know how far the zone of influence is going to spread. Once a city becomes a metropolis and it's, tier 6, and then everything around it could be up to tier 5, and then everything around it could be up to tier 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. I wonder if once that metropolis is created, does it limit everything else from leaving tier whatever? Like, can it only go up to like tier, say, 2? Because it can't hit tier 3 if it's not within a zone of influence of whatever. Because there are the max number of metropolis. Like, I wonder how they're going to do that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Laura is saying no, but it helps if your vassals are level capped and contributing to you, because each one you can have one at max level and then next level down, etc. And Dante says you don't need to have the other nodes around you to leveled up to level up yours. I think that's what they meant.
Okay, yeah.
But if nodes around you reach the max level they can contribute XP to your node. So it can help unless they decide to siege you.
Unless they decide to siege you.
So yeah, if you're trying to be a guild that is a citizens and raising up to a metropolis, you're gonna have to be a massive guild with all these sub guilds in order to completely control a zone of influence and get enough experience to level this remote area from like nothing up to a metropolis.
Maybe not, because you figure if they're aiming for 300 person guilds, right? 300 person guilds solely focused on a mission is probably a lot easier to get something done than 2,000 people that are doing anything willy-nilly that they want anywhere. Because if you take five metropolises divided by the 10,000 people that can be playing at a time, so it'd be roughly 2,000 people per metropolis kind of going anywhere and doing anything.
Can't 10,000 people be playing at a time? Oh, yeah.
10,000.
So that's 2,000 at a time, assuming they're playing nonstop. But yeah, still 2,000 people each contributing experience, because like everything they do contributes experience to the metropolis, right? So I think it's doable. It's just going to be very difficult. And then the other thing is, if you're a 300 person guild, you're limiting yourself on some of the other benefits you get from not going down the population size of a guild, right? Yeah.
Honestly, I think a lot of the bigger guilds, if they're smart, they're going to have different focuses for minor guilds. They're going to have like a crafting guild, and then, the PvP guild, the PvE guild, and they're just going to have the brute force, we need 300 people to accomplish something guild.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, some of these huge guilds out there that have, thousands of members, they'll probably just like, when Asmongold comes and plays and he takes over an entire server with all of his people, it's going to be like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What is the organization?
Right. That actually brings up a great question that Dante had, and that was, can the node provide enough housing or citizenship for the entire guild, though?
One node would not. Well,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they would have to. I mean, granted, it's not going to be individual housing.
Yeah.
There's probably not going to be that much individual housing, but the apartments that you can have rented out in the node, for sure.
I mean, freehold counts as housing too, as long as you're in the zone of influence, right? If you have a freehold there, you can be a citizen.
Yeah, everyone. And if a guild tried to build up a node, I'm pretty sure they would put all their freeholds just smattered directly by the city anyway. It'd be like a bunch of little hamlets sprinkled around a node.
This actually goes into one of our other topics that we had. Let me see if I can find it. Freeholds, what are your expectations? Which is by Eluded Water on Reddit. They said the dev team have said that one system they are implementing is that a freehold tavern can sell buffs for the area. Some ideas I'd like for freeholds: taverns sell specific food, drinks, items that are native to the area. You can choose what the tavern sells, its prices, etc. Customization for the buildings. Name your tavern. I think that's a given. Set up your own public events. I think this stuff is cool. Festivals, community gatherings, bonfires. Hire a bard. Guild could rent out space to host their own events, stuff like that. Set up mob hunting events and gathering events for rewards. So yeah, there's one other thing that they also said that is, this is something Steven said a while ago, but if I'm reading this, so he said, building your freehold next to a river, for example, provides a nearby source of clean, fresh water and will have positive effects on crops. So your artisan freehold features are also affected by adjacent terrain features. So this is something that, what you were saying about how everyone would just drop their freehold right next to the town, potentially not if you want to capitalize on certain effects, or if some of the best farming areas are going to want freeholds that will provide buffs so that all your guild members can get these buffs while they're farming that area. Yeah, I mean, I would love to, and as they said, I would love to see the ability to do like bounty and quest postings in your freehold. So like if you come to an area that's a farming zone, someone can say, hey, like I'm a smelter. This is my artisan. There's a bunch of ore near here. Here's a drop-off bin that pays you gold each time you drop off ore for me. Something like that. So those were just some of my ideas there.
Yeah, like but you got to figure there's going to be, not everybody's going to be farming. There's going to be like blacksmiths and tailors and stuff that probably couldn't give much care about there being water right there.
Yeah.
A blacksmith will cart in, a bucket or 3 of water and and leave it just sitting there. So
yeah, I think it just depends on how beneficial some of that stuff is. But yeah, I think definitely there will be people that want to be as close to the city as possible, whereas other groups may not want to be close to the city.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also,
and
I just say...
Zeridius.
Go ahead.
Go. all right. Zeridius, people can be in different guilds. You can also, to expand on that, different guild members and whatnot can also be citizens of different towns. Your different characters can be members and citizens of different towns. So you can have each one of your characters be a completely different person, completely different identity, and a completely different situation all around.
And espionage.
Yes, specifically because that espionage factor, it's going to be a thing. It's definitely going to be a thing.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say is thank you guys. Dante, I saw you answering that question from Serdius. Thank you so much for engaging also with each other in our chat. It really means a lot to me, just seeing you guys answer each other's questions and, just talking amongst yourself about these things. Like, this is exactly what I want from our community. So thank you so much for that. On a more serious note, we need a bard. Who wants to be our bard?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, you said that the freehold taverns can get a bard, right? We're a tavern. We need a bard.
I'm not that kind of bard. I do storytelling.
Oh, okay.
I can't play music. Terrible at it. Just god awful.
You're like a bard with like a 5 charisma. But Dante says, I might be thinking too hard, but there is a problem regarding a guild focusing on leveling up a node effectively. They have to choose a node really far away from the castles. If the other guilds notice one guild trying to level up a node close to the castle nodes, they're all going to jump on them and try to de-level their node ASAP. It's going to put a big bullseye on their back, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. We have yet to see exactly how beneficial castles are and what you get from all of that, but castles themselves have nodes surrounding them, right? But you can't level those up unless you actually control the castle. But then any nodes just outside of the castle, people are going to want to definitely make sure whoever's controlling the castle is going to want to make sure they're either allies or whatever. And that's where diplomacy comes in. I think there's going to be a lot of diplomacy going on and a lot of people having to talk about what's happening between certain guilds.
Right. Sorry, I hear barking, but I don't think that's
No,
ours.
that's my dog. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure, like, we keep ours under check because she doesn't listen at all, ever. Off with her head.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah, pups can get their viewpoint known too. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Tell us what you really think.
He wants to talk about, pets in the game.
What the animal husbandry skill.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Custom text emote functions. Kind of a discussion on from a role player's perspective. Oh, that's okay. You don't need social media to look at somebody else's Twitter. It's free. I'm pretty sure. But this is from Halgrave. Halgrave says, "Hey folks, Halgrave here. Seems that unfortunately the text-based emoting function /me or /e used in so many other MMOs is a quality of life for role players that prefer to use custom text emote entries to express their character actions. May not be planned for Ashes of Creation. I'm making this short post as an interest check to allow the devs to potentially see a solid representation of those who would enjoy this function in the game. If you would also like to see a custom text-based emotes functional in AOC for the purposes of RP, please leave something here in the thread and perhaps we may be heard." That's one of our favorite things also, is bringing to light smaller voices that are maybe not being noticed. Granted, this was posted sometime in April. It literally just says edited in April. I don't know when. But what do you guys think from RP perspective? Do you guys like having those kind of things?
I mean, I don't think there's any way it wouldn't. It's such an easy thing to code, right? Just make a special text for custom emotes. And with Steven's RP background, I don't think there's any way he wouldn't let that happen either. One thing I would like to see, and this would be like down the road, but like giving players the freedom to create actual emotes that characters will do, and then having them approved. So like you could have like, you could go into some kind of character designer app and have like go through a choreography motion of some kind of dance that you want characters to do, and then send that in for approval, and then it can be an emote that people can use. I think that like allowing some custom stuff like that, like I think we've talked about, like for bards being able to actually play music on their own within a tavern, stuff like that would be really cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm creating the fedora hat tip milady.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Doing it.
I like it. If you just give someone like the wireframe, right? It's not that hard to get a way for them to create their own emotes.
Yeah, I know. Steven said before. Steven, I think Jeffrey, both of us said before, they're going to be doing a lot for the role-playing community as far as capabilities, adding in like different dance stuff and a lot of emotes, and I think they specifically even confirmed the /me or /em.
Okay.
And that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And hot tub roleplay as well, right?
Hot tub roleplay.
Oh no.
There's some of that going around during the stream.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh
God.
man.
No moon guard here.
No. Nothing.
No, I know there's been a couple posts. People have been talking about scribes. Somebody actually made a video about it. I forget who it was. Not too long ago. They've done a lot of videos on the different crafting skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody who makes like really funny stuff. I almost wanted to say Kira, but it's not Kira.
I don't know.
Either way, though.
I have not seen
Sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't
razor
help you.
wipe on. Can't help me. Can't help me. No, I'm helpless. But yeah, razor wipe on Reddit ended up asking, "Will scribe scrolls be consumables?" Now, that's a question for you. Do you think that scribe skills should be consumables to use for, say, casting spells when you're not a spellcaster, or something like how they do in like World of Warcraft, where you make buffs and things like that, and little things that can alter your character?
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing is, wouldn't it be cool to be like a simple fighter or bard running around with a few spells in your back pocket for emergencies, like a fighter running around with a heal spell on a scroll in your back pocket? Because I know that's a thing you can do in like D&D type settings, but in MMOs, that's not really a common occurrence.
Yeah, I'm just worried about something like that becoming so meta that you have to have it, right? To the point where it's just, rather than it being something you pull out every once in a while, it's something like, you know, like when you look at like what these people are doing for these classic WoW farms to make sure they have all their buffs up, and they're just spending like 12 hours a day farming so they have every single buff they can. It's just like, are you serious? This is dumb. So I just don't want it to become that, and that's what I'm a little worried about.
I have a hotbar full of scrolls.
Yeah. Or like
As
when
he says,
yeah.
I'm gonna casually have 1 million scrolls in her bag.
Exactly. And you just have to, it's basically a full-time job, and it's like, and at that point it's just like, yeah, no one can beat you if you have the scroll, or if you have the scrolls and someone else doesn't. I don't know.
Where'd you get all those scrolls, Z? You been hurting people for scrolls? Huh?
Back alley deals, selling snake oil.
Just saying, Grey Pelt commented and said that he thinks the only examples of scrolls we've had are armor weapon enhancement scrolls, part of like gear enchanting. Siege scrolls, and those come from a quest but could involve the professions, as they are at least involve a lot of the resources. And memory scrolls to record history.
Memory scroll.
Memory scrolls.
Yeah, and that was what I was gonna say. Is I seem to remember Steven saying like, history in the world is, or on each server, is going to mean a lot, and scribes were going to be somewhat in charge of recording all of that and doing that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I would also like to see some kind of cartography aspect where you actually like can buy maps, or like limited use maps for different areas and things like that.
That'd be cool.
I think it'd be nifty. Like, since you mentioned cartography, how neat would it be if a scribe could create a scroll that would contain a magical spell that could, say, lead somebody to a metropolis on the other side of the map that they haven't uncovered yet?
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, and I'd like to see it more than just like buffs, right? Because buffs have been done in every other MMO.
Yeah.
Speak of Grey Pelt, and he shall appear.
It's those belt slot scrolls that are the standout of, these seem sort of out of place for those other options. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff they could do. But I'm super curious about some of the crafting options, because it sounds like they want to do some stuff that's not normal. Like you said earlier, Bardtic, that they want to do things that other games haven't done, and if other games have done them all the time, then that's not what they want to do.
Well,
Unless it's obviously like pinning a mini map to your screen, because that's kind of quality of life that people have grown used to. But I'm fine with a mini map, but then like a larger map would make sense, that you actually have to like get a scroll made. Whereas a mini map, it's around you, you can see it, right? Just a bit of direction from what you can see yourself. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go to like further out areas, or maybe you can scribe a map that has like high probability of certain materials. So like if you're an herbalist, like this map will have like areas that has a good chance of spawning certain herbs and stuff like that. I don't know. But I would like to, and I don't want to get Z riled up here, but they're basing a lot of this on Star Wars Galaxies, the crafting system there. And I know, they had some really cool and interesting stuff
going on and how intricate and like how things worked there. And so I would definitely, yeah, hopefully they will continue on that road and do some cool and unique stuff with it.
I really
Fingers
like
crossed.
I don't want to get Z riled up over here. if Z's not riled up at least once per stream, we're not doing it right. Just saying.
Fair enough. Yeah, we
And also,
so,
you go.
a while ago we were doing these Thursday night like discussion streams. We were calling them Discord discussion streams, and we were talking about Star Wars Galaxy, and Z got super riled up, and she came on and like gave us the entire story of how certain individual ruined Star Wars Galaxies and how upset she was about it.
It's so
entire
cute
history.
though. Her passion's adorable.
Yeah.
His
He who
name,
shall
name
not
him.
be named. He who shall not be named.
Yeah, I liked the little side discussion that was going in chat there. The about the scribes deciding history. So Dante says, would it be cool if scribes decided and wrote history rather than just factually recording it? How
The
neat would it be,
winners
like-
get to write the history.
Yeah, like when you go, because Stephen was saying you have to report, what you find and whatnot to the book to have it written down in the library or whatnot, right? So how about if you could come back and you had like little boxes to check off, like slightly inaccurate details to include.
That would be cool.
Oh man, that's funny.
I like it.
Anything else pique your interest, Bardtic?
All of it, but
All of it.
Yeah, fake news, says Laura.
We get
Let's
enough
see
of that in real
here.
life. We don't need it in game too. Aw.
We've covered a
That
lot.
or
of
is
stuff
anything-
Yeah,
so
we
far.
did.
Hey, anything else?
Oh,
piqued your interest here
in-game
lately?
censoring. This is a interesting topic.
Oh yeah.
So, Nox Nukes, something posted on the forums. I know Blizzard recently created an issue for themselves by adding a mandatory chat filter on top of one that is defaultly turned on for its users. He basically just goes on to say it filters out unsavory words, a bunch of other stuff, and they just keep implementing more and more filters. He's in static world like AOC, where player communication is so important. My fear is that by the time people have blocked everyone that has ever offended them, there will be no open communication left. He's exaggerating a bit, but he does want just opening it up for discussion.
Yeah.
It is a good point, right? Because censoring is like a big hot topic nowadays. And I guess my theory on it would be just have a very clear TOS in terms of what you can and can't say. And then the report button, right? And then as Steven has said, he is not just trying to money grub. He wants very active GMs throughout the world that are actively going around and making sure the player experience is good. So you'll have some kind of GM that is responsible for going and checking in on these reports of what people are saying. And if you're breaking TOS, just like no questions asked, ban, right?
I think it'd be nice.
Obviously with evidence.
Right. I think it'd be nice on the one hand for GMs to have like a covert account so that people don't know that they're a GM, because usually as soon as somebody's aware, when you're driving and you're aware of a cop, you drive slightly differently. When you're aware that there's a GM watching the chat, you chat slightly differently. So having somebody who's kind of covert there, so that way when that person is maybe being a jerk, who's typically a jerk, they're not going to put on a nice guy phase, in front of the GM kind of thing.
Well, it's pretty easy to keep chat logs for at least a few days, right?
That's
You don't necessarily need an active GM watching everything. You just need someone to report and then the GM to go back to the chat logs and look.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even beyond that, GMs usually will have an invis mode where they can be non-clip and invisible, and just somebody reports something and they can pop in, type a little command, and they teleport directly to wherever that player is and
they're invisible.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then they can just observe.
See,
Yeah,
I don't know
the
anything about GM stuff.
Yeah. The biggest thing there is just having a bunch of active GMs. Even if they're not needed, like all needed right away, you don't just like let them go. But like, and that like that would solve the botting problem too. Like
Yeah.
we see this in WoW. Like everyone can sit there and be like, this person's botting, but they're not getting banned, and it's because no one is there to actively go and look and care. Whereas if there's a GM that like, hey, when you're not busy, you just go check in on like player reports, right? Because there should always be in every MMO like a report player for this. I just think it's, I mean, a lot of them, it'll be abused, and there'll be a bunch of like neckbeards raging who just like type these things and are mad at someone because they got killed. But then some of it will actually be useful and change, and I would say not change, but improve the player experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I
that's
mean,
part of everything.
yeah, there's the option, like on the one hand, having the option to turn on and off the censoring. Like, I'm an adult, I don't care if I see some curse words. So like being able to turn that off is a nice thing, because I'm like, I mean, half the other fun when I'm in a drunken stupor is trying to figure out what curse words somebody's trying to say with all the asterisks, and I just like make up words. But like, what could they be saying in that part? I don't know. But like when World of Warcraft like forced that on top of the optional, like now you absolutely cannot say like these words. Yeah, that's what I used to do, Dante, is count the asterisks and then try to guess. But you know, I don't either like start the game with a forest, like you can't talk about this, or start the game with toggle, like leave adults able to be adults, you know. We're able to be like, man, that shit was hard, like, and obviously like we don't want the poor like 10 or 13-year-old to be like, oh my god, they're saying bad words on the screen, you know, like I'm just
gonna say right now, if you're old enough to play this game, you've probably Googled way worse stuff than you're gonna hear in this game.
Fair.
Or accidentally bumped into it. Yeah.
But I think in order to get that rating, that you have to have some of that stuff in place, right? So like when they were showing off the red demon super holy wolf thing, and Steven was like, what's our rating again? Like,
oh god,
his reaction right there.
They were all talking about the abdomen. I was staring at the holes in the legs of that thing. That was what was getting me. I was like, that was way creepier than like the abdomen like falling out of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just seen enough zombie movies that I've seen enough like guts come out that doesn't faze me, but like holes through your legs, I'm like, how is it even walking right now?
Well, yeah,
it's a little different.
Well, I didn't see guts though. I just saw like an empty cavity. Like that seemed pretty.
Yeah, there was dangly
PG
bits. There was dangly bits.
There's some dangly bits.
It was like the it was the ribs though.
Yeah,
like,
that one's not getting released in China.
That's fair.
But yeah, with the censoring thing, like I've always been a big like let people speak their mind and give people a chance to say whatever, and you know there's a mute button for a reason. Like T-Elf said, like ignore gets plenty of use, and you can set your own, you know, turn the automatic filter on and off for like the worst words. Yeah. And then if a game gives you the opportunity to put in your own words you'd like to censor out, sure, do that. But outside of that, I mean, if you never hear an opposing viewpoint and some of those words get flagged, because I'm guessing that's what happened. I'm sorry, I didn't see the WoW filter thing. I guess that's why someone's getting so bent about it, is because it just censors things that are not terrible. But if you never hear an opposing viewpoint, you're never going to grow as a person. So you kind of have to hear something different every once in a while and realize that, you might be the asshole.
I believe when you never hear an opposing viewpoint, you call that a cult.
yeah. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, it is a product. It is a thing meant for mass consumption. So they want to make sure that as many people can enjoy it as possible without having a bad experience.
Yeah.
Therefore, they want to clean it up at least to a point.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Brings up another potential idea there then is proximity chat, right?
Oh, man.
Voice chat. Is that going to be a thing? And if it is, how do you deal with censoring some of that?
That's another Z triggering topic.
yeah, that would be a train
Is it?
wreck. To be honest,
Oh, yeah, she
that would be
really
a real
hates-
train wreck.
She really hates
I would like it out in the
proximity
wilderness. I think it could be muted or like not available in cities or dense areas. I don't know.
I think it'd be neat to have fun with in certain areas, like going into taverns or whatever. But I mean, you should be able to mute individual people that you hear just
Yeah.
making nonsense noises. Like
Yeah.
if somebody comes into a crowded tavern and just starts like, how terrible would it be if they just start smashing pans together for any amount of time and your hearing just gets shot?
No, that's the
Yeah.
bard you hired.
Yeah, it's the bard you hired.
Oh man, I mean, proximity sound effects are really cool for things like D&D when you're getting closer to a fire, and then there's like that fire sound like getting louder as you're getting closer to it, and like things like that. Like, I like it for those aspects, but in terms of like random chat, like if I'm in the middle of fighting and some person's running past me blasting music through proximity chat, like I don't want to take the moment to like stop fighting to turn off somebody's proximity chat so I don't have to hear it and then go back to fighting, because in that period of time, especially when you're new to the game, you know, it's just, you could die, you know, or like Z said, you could get effed on Twitch because you know, copyright.
Featured on
Yeah.
Twitch?
I mean,
Yes,
I think
exactly.
there should just be a button, right, that is toggle on, toggle off proximity chat if they are going to have it, where it's just like press Z and your proximity chat is complete turned off. But,
Yeah. Z.
Don't press me.
oh, yeah, don't press X.
Somebody named X is gonna come on.
Yeah.
People actually have to have noise discipline when
Noise
sneaking
discipline.
up on someone. Yeah, exactly.
See,
Like,
That was one reason why I thought it would be actually really fun to have proximity chat, because I would be that rogue, like stealthing around, just literally hiding in bushes, waiting for people to walk by and just whisper weird things out of nowhere. Or like see somebody
Not
like over there
TOS breaking
gathering
weird things, just
Yeah,
weird
not
things.
not that kind of weird thing.
honestly, don't
But
say
just
if
things that make
happened.
somebody look over their shoulder, like, oh my god, what's happening? Who was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So this I guess shows you how much of a butthole I was. But Vertec and I first met. We were playing Pathfinder, and we had a friend Shathi from Ash's community that would join us. And Shathi had these Bluetooth headphones, and he'd go downstairs, and I'd be like, Shathi, and he just like, don't do that. I thought somebody was behind me, and I was like, sorry. But Dante, what you said, I would probably cry, to be honest. If somebody's yelling at me and attacking me in game all at the same time, I would probably get really overwhelmed and just cry. Cause
See, I think that would be
Just
great.
sit down.
Calling out war cries as you're. You shall feel the wrath of my thunder.
I can only imagine Z going off on somebody on the voice chat. Come back here. Where you going? Yeah, now let me see your war face.
oh gosh. Oh, my face. It's so warm. Okay.
I think I don't know. I really like the idea of proximity chat, just with a mass toggle on and off, and a toggle for individuals as well, where you can just like literally put your mouse but target someone and press a button and they get muted. But I don't know. Yeah, Z,
Yeah.
it's I think it goes both ways. I've had good experiences, but mostly in RP circumstances with proximity chat.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested in trying it out. I'm not opposed to it necessarily. I could see all the ways that it could go wrong.
And that's why you just have a toggle option, right? So
Yeah.
like you can go up, and then like also like with the toggle option, you should have like, there should be like something like that appears over your character when you're speaking in proximity chat. So if someone has it turned off and you like walk up to them, they can know that you're saying something to them and be like, I'm either going to ignore you or maybe we'll chat now. And maybe I just met a random person that's now going to be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like, there's been GTA RP has been amazing for a lot of people. That's apparently just been a really good experience for most people. Obviously, there's some ridiculous and terrible experiences too, but
Yeah, it's bound to happen. I don't know. GTA is one of those I never really got into. I had fun with it for about a couple days at a friend's place, and it just never really picked up on it.
yeah, I mean, I never got into it, but I've just seen some clips on YouTube of some of the big streamers that it's just hilarious. Some of this RP that's going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, as Dow Nomad says, he loves the RP but hates the setting. And so if we could get like that kind of RP within Ashes, that is just just hilarious. It's funny, but in a fantasy setting instead of like this crime-ridden city.
Is it like fantasy LARPing?
Kind of, pretty much.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of like me. I hate BRs except for the Ashes APOC BR. I actually had fun with that. I mean, granted, it still wasn't the best. I still didn't have the greatest time, but you know, it was better than the other BRs I played.
That's fair. I only didn't hate it because of all of the cosmetics that I could get. That was the only saving grace for me. And being able to see the in-game, like, the way that it looked in general. It just only 2 reasons why I kept playing APOG, plus, you know, feedback for, okay, we need people fighting each other. Okay, I mean, if I get to see inside the game world and get chances at cosmetics, I'll go.
I can't
or
remember.
cosmetics.
Or cosmetics,
the golden armor, that was the one that was like limited. They gave out keys like one day and then it was gone.
Yeah, and then there was the orange armor. Oh yeah.
Didn't get any of that.
No.
Yeah, we didn't get that one because that was that was like one day where we couldn't pop onto the live stream, and they gave away like a zillion of them. And there was like one website that had a couple codes, and we're like, okay, well, you know, it's bound to be there another day. They're giving away all these cloak codes everywhere, so these are bound to show up somewhere. No, they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what they have to do to do like Twitch loot, but the Path of Exile, the most recent dev update, they gave away a cosmetic piece for watching the dev stream for like at least half an hour, and I hope Ashes starts doing that because that's awesome. I want free cosmetics. I guess they're not really free if you're giving them your time, but still.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey.
Dante says Steven was wearing armor. I thought that was a cosmetic. Why did he keep dying then?
That's a secret Steven power. Yeah, it's a secret Steven power. He had that turned on during the random mock PvP battle he had too.
So if you looked at it, like if you went back and looked at that, everyone else had like, I think like close to 1,000 health or something, and Steven had like 60. So I don't know what was going on with his health during that, but he was either not wearing armor or not leveled up appropriately or something.
I think he just didn't expect to get attacked because he was just trying to be there to, you know, view everything. Yeah. So I don't
know. Stand in fire.
Yeah, it was some kind of like glorious something or other armor. I forget.
A few other topics that we have left, but I kind of would like to just go ahead and talk about Ashes news, if that's okay.
Okay. Whatever you like.
I'll also have, if you guys want to reference, I'll have this put in our Discord after the show, so you can reference all the links that we've sent out and stuff like that. So,
the console powers.
Moving on to Ashes news, they have Guild Gatherings 3 is out. Let me just grab that link real quick. There we go.
Measuring success.
Yes. And
wait, isn't that's last week or last month's, right?
10 days ago.
10 days ago.
Okay.
We were going to talk about this last week.
Yeah.
But
and then we couldn't because tech.
Stuff happens.
So how do you measure your success as a guild in a game? What kinds of things would you like to see in Ashes of Creation to help you measure that success? And then they actually put a sneak peek in here. Keep an eye out for the next guild gathering topic regarding team building, which I think is really cool. Meter sticks.
Sir
Hi, Sir
Ensington
Ensington.
measures
How's
it in meter sticks. I mean, that's one way of measuring success, I guess. You know.
Are we measuring success?
Did you win the race? Yeah. Did you eat your spinach while you were growing up? But, yeah, I don't know. So, you, sir, Mr. Bardic, how would you, if you were a guild leader or an ossifer in a guild, propose to measure success of the guild or even different components within it?
So I'm going to go ahead and probably do an unpopular opinion. I want nothing that measures anyone's success. I think that gives you more agency and more ability to play the game how you want. And it's up to you to figure out how you measure your own success, as opposed to putting actual clear-cut achievements or values on this stuff. Because then people just, they're going to sit there and there's going to be this gatekeeping aspect to it, right? Where if your guild hasn't accomplished this, then you're not good enough, or whatever it is. So to me, I want absolutely nothing in game that shows anything other than what your guild has accomplished, and that's good enough for you.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think, honestly, the measuring a guild's success, it's going to kind of depend on what your goal is, really. And yes, I just needed to say sticks. Sticks. Measure things in sticks. Measure sticks with things. But anywho, yeah, look in the eyes. But yeah, measuring the success of a guild is, it's tough. If you're PvP focused, it wouldn't really be a badge of honor if you go out and win a raid, or if you've gathered the most consumables possible in the shortest amount of time. But PvE guilds and crafting guilds would find both of those goals amazing. And yeah, we're super successful. We have a bank full of goods to sell. It's amazing. We're gonna be rich. But a PvP is just, did we win the tournament? No? All right, then we didn't succeed. What do we got to do? Let's fix it.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, measuring success kind of goes back to something I've mentioned a few times. By the way, I put up a poll. That's this week's journey into Alpha 1, Chapter 18, because we missed last week. But for me, I think measuring guild success would be the whole, how much are you contributing given the time that you have? How much are you able to, are you able to meet the desires of what you as a guild are wanting to accomplish? Because there's overall gameplay, then there's daily guild content, then there's monthly and weekly guild content. Are you meeting those things? Are you fostering the type of guild that you want? And those things could mean guild success as well, in a different manner of speaking, because having the type of people that you want means that you work well together as a guild, and working well together as a guild means that you're probably being pretty efficient at getting your achievements done as a guild, whatever those are. It could be bring in X amount of potions and food each month so that we're ready for raids whenever the new raid comes out or a new raid is found, etc. That's just my opinion. Grey Pelt says, I honestly measure guild success by successful social interactions like real life meetups, weddings with guild invites, etc. I didn't figure that was super useful in terms of design goals though. Yeah, that's fair. It's still nice having the ability to meet up with your guild mates, right?
Yeah, when COVID's over.
Oh, right, of course.
And all the PAXs and things like that.
Yeah, that may not necessarily impact how they set up the game though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dante, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say on the note of Grey Pelt, that success is not something that would ever be measurable in game or matter in game. That comes down to the success of the group itself.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Dante says, personally, I would measure a guild success based on how good they are at crushing their enemies, seeing their enemies driven before them, and hear the lamentations of their enemies' women.
Lamentations.
It's a Conan reference.
Yeah, I know. Sir Onsington says it's tough because we don't have a ton of info on a lot of the mechanics such as social and religious, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Bardtic, let's go AOC, says Spire Metro.
Yeah, we're all getting excited. 1 month till non-NDA.
Speaking of
Everybody
chapter...
gets to see
3
everything
weeks,
that's going
actually.
on.
3 weeks.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. Speaking of
Just
chapter
saying,
18...
little does-
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, little does anybody know that there's a test going on right now at this very moment. It's a test of patience. Test of patience.
Ha, ha,
It's
ha.
one everybody can play.
So, chapter 18. Our quick thinking and swift actions have lured away the colossal warrior with... Is this the right one? Are we sure? Okay. With the scales and gem fragments left behind in the chaos, we could surely make a tidy sum by selling them to our neighboring nodes. And if you guys vote, there's the poll. Whatever you guys choose is the one that we're going to choose officially at the end of this. So, yeah. What should we do with the gold? Should we fill our personal bank or fill the town's coffers?
Who was it? Sir Onsington said, fill the town coffins. Oh, wait, can I revote?
Fill the coffins by filling your pockets.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am all for fill. I mean, not in real life, but in RP, I love playing evil characters, so I would fill my pockets.
So, this link that I have here is for chapter 18 and not chapter 19. So,
And yeah, sorry guys, I do that every once in a while, and I just like to try to see who's gonna choke up and be like, no, don't.
notice my face
Okay, that
stops
wasn't a
getting
leak, never
freaked
mind.
out because he does it so often.
I may have got her a time or two.
Yeah, I may have been ready to give him quite the ear lashing afterwards. I cannot confirm or deny my vote. Can you, could you kindly give me chapter 19 so that I could also do that shortly after this one ends?
Mm-hmm.
We had everything prepared for last week. A lot of changes happened, and we had the situation where our antivirus decided to update without us knowing and denied access to Zoom for our webcams. So naturally, I figured it was my streaming card, my capture card from Aver Media, and not my computer in any way. And we spent the next 2 days until like 2 hours after the next day being like, oh, it was literally just Bitdefender.
Yeah, so I was telling Z this before the show. Like, so I'd like to think I'm pretty good with troubleshooting. I'm pretty good with security stuff. You know, got a degree in it and everything. Within 30 minutes, I tested out the feature that protects your microphones and webcams. And, it's set up. These applications are whitelisted. You know, it's allowing these applications to see the webcam and the microphone. Cool. Let me go ahead and remove it and add it back to the whitelist. Nope, it's still broken. Okay. It took me 9.5 more hours to figure out that the feature itself was bugged by a recent update.
Yeah.
And I had to actually turn that feature off completely instead of.
But now you're being listened to.
Right?
It was just the webcam that we turned off, not the microphone. Yeah, the microphone seems to be working just fine, as you guys can hear us. It was just the webcam.
Okay, so they're still listening to you. They just can't see you now.
Exactly.
The even better part was when I tried to use their automated feature to let them know something was wrong. The automated feature wouldn't let them know something was wrong.
It was blocking the automated feature.
I wrote up a detailed thing. I used their own tool to capture a video of me reproducing the error, and I hit send, and it said failed. I hit send and it said fail.
Lovely.
I did that for about 30 minutes and then said, forget it.
Let's watch some Critical Role.
Yeah, let's
No,
go.
seriously,
exactly
I was
what
like,
we did.
we're stressed out about this. Let's just watch some like D&D or something. Because, so what happened was,
What happened?
I finally figured out after like 5 years, or I guess it's been 2 or 3 now since Jester started being a part of Critical Role. But I finally found out Jester was not just this beautiful like OC that I found at a convention. She was an actual D&D character, and I thought that was like way more interesting than what I initially thought it was. I was like, oh, that's just pretty. She has like lollipops and stuff, and I feel like I can relate to her. It's so cute. I love it. And yeah, lo and behold, it's a D&D character, and we're like 133 episodes at the time behind. And so I start watching, and then I get hooked, and I'm like, I want to play D&D. I want to play D&D. So I'm like bugging people. Finally, we got a group together. But I've been like bothering him. I'm like, do you want to watch? Do you want to watch with me? Do you want to watch Critical Role? Yeah. Critical Role? Yeah.
I gotta say, normally watching people play D&D and such isn't necessarily exciting unless I'm, there at the game. But
Yeah. They do a fairly good job.
Critical Role does an amazing job.
Yeah.
better than I thought.
Yeah, their characters are just very distinct, very memorable, very well built, and
Hey.
yeah,
It also
I
helps
see
when you have
critters.
voice
They do.
actors that are used to like getting into character and making voices and such too. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love Travis's face and Matt's face, especially. Like Travis was doing the like southern drawl for Ford initially, but then like Matt will get into it and he'll be like just all these faces, and it's just, I don't know, I love it. But and while we're waiting for this to tick down the little bit that it has left, there were some updates to the website, and that can only mean more updates are coming soon, for what like Maggie mentioned with the new site and shop and stuff. And I think they mentioned more today about possible Discord integrations in the future, making it easier. And so that'll be awesome, especially with being able to integrate who has what packages, etc.
the content creator program, fingers crossed.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
Next week, fingers crossed for the content creator, and on May 4th, they are giving out a sneak peek on what exactly the Alpha 1 for sale will include. Fill our bank. Oh man, you guys are greedy.
Oh yeah,
I
we
guess
getting
that's what
rich
we're doing.
today.
Yes, we are. Oh man.
But yeah, regardless of whether we get in that program or not, we're still gonna create
Oh yeah,
content because
definitely.
we like it.
Same
It's fun. Love you guys, so we'll be here either way.
Yes. We prefer the term self-preservative.
Self-preservative. But see, now that makes me sound like a McDonald's French fry.
Oh my gosh.
but if I don't get into the official program, how am I going to get behind the scenes at SandalCon?
Right? Jeez.
Oh, it's easy. You jump the fence.
Sneak in.
All right.
Let me show you my years in the music industry. I could show you some ways to get into places. You
So
just gotta be willing to make yourself look like you belong there.
yes, exactly. So now that we have self-preservedly put our money in our own pockets, surprised by the temptation to add to the village's profits, because we actually lost, surprise, to your pockets, you feel disconcerted by the notions of chaos and destruction that are pervading your thoughts. Perhaps the divine appeal could clear your conscience. So, which god should we pray to? The god of truth, Shoal, or the goddess of fate, Norlan? Appeal to fate.
Is there a pray to nothing god?
I mean, those are the only two options. I guess not choosing to embark upon the decision could be not praying to anybody. Pray to the corrupt.
Which one prefers the purple flowers in the picture? That's one I'll pray to.
There you go. That being said, we had 3 awesome dragons
Wait,
on
what's
stream today.
Palms up together, goddess.
What? Where? I don't see that.
that's in the poll.
Oh.
It says palms up together, goddess.
Nice.
Whoops.
Okay,
Sorry.
because that was the little
Is
the
that
little
the
symbol
emote?
that's in there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the emote name.
Dang it.
It's the goddess of fate.
That's great.
The god of truth came through just
I'm definitely going
fine.
palms up. Palms up, baby.
The
I'm gonna do
second one is
palms up just
Goddess of
because.
Fate. The second one is Goddess of Fate Norlan. I'm so sorry. I was copying that from Twitter and it showed only the text was highlighted, but it copied the emote.
Palms up together.
Thumbs up.
All right. Yeah, Z's praying to the god of lava. These gods are
Oh
nothing
my
to me.
gosh. She would.
Someone showed me this the other day, but if you have an iPhone and you've ever used the prayer symbol, it's actually high five.
Oh.
Like it's listed as high five. So
That's hilarious.
it's like every time you've been using that to say like prayers out to you, you're really just high fiving someone.
Twitter calls
like,
it
oh.
folded hands. So instead of
Folded
like open hands, folded hands. Yeah.
That's more.
Oh,
of a
that's okay.
prayer.
The goddess of
I don't
Fate is
really
kinda like
do the
racist.
Facebook thing as much as I used to, and I just bumped into somebody discovering that when you type GG, it apparently does like a fist bump action.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, if you just type GG and that's it, it turned it pink, and then apparently there's a lot of different fist bumps. Mine was somebody with gloves that was fist bumping like a skeleton.
Is that in like
Nice.
Facebook Messenger?
Oh, that's
or
yeah, it's
something?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook, not here. Nice job, Izzy. But
Yes,
unless we're
tried.
supposed to do the fist bump because
you go.
we're in different rooms, and that would take a minute. Yeah.
You just do it towards the screen. Fist bump. I mean, I'm pink over here. So yeah, that works. I got the pink.
GG.
GG. Okay. By
It's
the way,
alright. I'm a guy. I totally understand that.
so far, palms up together goddess is winning.
Thumbs up together.
And I think it's all because of the emote. The emote on that one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was not an accurate poll here. A little bit of bias going on.
I'll get a little bit better next time, I promise. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the Discord integration. They've been working more and more to integrate things like your forums with the website and stuff like that. So the more the merrier. I know that they're working to make the website better for everybody. Is it just me, or does it seem like the images on the shop are like bigger versus like a long time ago when they're like tiny little things?
Well, maybe.
Because I like last time I looked, I thought they were like much bigger. More bears. You know, I saw somebody in chat when they were showing off the cosmetics. They're like, I wish there was more manly cosmetics, not so many girly cosmetics. And I was like, what are you talking about? For like a quarter of the year last year, there's nothing but death and destruction.
Yeah.
That's all we
Yeah.
got.
I mean, and then Margaret took over doing the designs, and then it changed.
Sir Huntington says, we gather the fiercest face we can muster, pray to our goddess's palms, throw them palms together and say, give us the money back.
Give us the money back.
Manly cosmetics equals scantily clad women and big burly men, probably. But hello, second mod. Let's see. Yes, so May 5th, the purchase for the tickets. We did that. Oh, yeah, we did that too. Okay, we're done with that section. I'll mark it off. You were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, excited that they're gonna be moving to the new studio finally.
Yes, Maggie is super
At the same time, we're
hyped.
moving to a new house.
It's like a moving party.
yeah. It's gonna be great.
But Maggie was super excited. What are you guys looking forward to the most for when they move back to the studio? Because one
Dev
of the
Diaries.
people, Dev Diaries.
Was it Dev
I
Diaries?
didn't even get to finish
Those were
the
so
question.
nifty.
I was just so out.
Those were so nifty, and they stopped them because reasons, and the world sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Different people
different
on
people on streams.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I was actually gonna
Mix
say.
it up again.
Somebody was excited to see like the crew behind them like working while like Steven and occasionally other people were like on the stream with them. So it's really, really nice. Yeah, the fan art wall. For those of you that missed it, and CM Shays is actually on holiday, so Shays, if you see this, enjoy your holiday. Thank you for not working too hard on your time off. But there was no transcript from him this week for it. But your fan art and the stuff that gets sent to the PO box, oh man, will be put on the walls and stuff. And they want inspirational things from everybody in the community to be on the walls, just to have a positive and inspiring atmosphere when people come to work, you know. I really appreciate that. That speaks volumes about the company, and, you know, it speaks volumes about the community, and just remembering, like, this is why they're slaving away every single day, is for the community that loves the, like, content that they're working on, you know. I'm pretty sure the Ice Cream Man will have to change his route, considering I'm pretty sure Intrepid Studios is like one of the bigger customers.
Yeah. At least that day they were.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought this was popular because I saw one of the other Intrepid staff members saying, like, now that the Ice Cream Man knows to come there because he knows that Stephen wants the ice cream.
Oh yeah, there was at least the one day where they went out and just basically bought the truck. They're like, we'll take everything.
Oh.
And then since then, the Ice Cream Man's been coming by like every single day.
Yeah.
Ringing the bell.
Yes, Halloween dress-ups. Yes. Didn't he show up every day? Yeah. They had like a little, what was it? Snapchat. They had a Snapchat video of it. Like, hey guys, what's up? Going out to get her ice cream. Cute.
Yeah. I think it'll just like increase productivity, right? People will be it's a lot easier to work with people when you don't have to, like, you know, send them an email, wait for them to respond, wait for them to like read through it. It's just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I just want the world to be normal.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually something my bosses were just talking about. They're like, man, sometimes some of these things were just like a 5-minute conversation that you could have had passing each other in the hallway. But no, like, we're all in Zoom calls constantly and like not able to talk to each other except for occasionally. Or you miss the little bit of, you know, notification because you were busy being in a Zoom. Oh no, one person voted for God of Truth. We have a heathen among us.
I think we have to crusade them down.
So, Dante, you have to help me. That has to be a thing now. Whenever we at the Golden Feather need to wish for something to happen, need to raise our palms to the sky. Raise those palms up
and put a sandal on them. Palms up with a sandal.
I want to see that
Everybody palms up.
I want to see that as a fan art now, as somebody with their palms out with like a sandal on it, like. The heathens are crying. Oh no, I think they're doing that just to spite you now. But yeah, I will pull up the stream. I'm not gonna add any audio. You guys can go check that out. Just because if there's a commercial, I don't want there to be a really loud commercial on stream. Man, I hate this commercial so much. But I will let those two take over whatever they want to chat about. While I do that.
So, how about them dragons?
Yes.
What about the dungeons?
How about them dragons?
What about the dungeons?
No, just them dragons.
Oh, yeah.
They're like all gigantic Onyxia size, like for serious dragons. They look like semi-necrotic, didn't they?
Yes. Especially the frost one. The fire one didn't look quite as necrotic. The frost and the forest one were definitely more necrotic. They had like holes. All of them had like holes in their wings, though. But yeah,
those looked like the forest one or the poison one or whatever. Looked like that could have just been from sleeping in the woods too much. Moths got to their wings.
Moths. I mean, those dragons were epic, and if that's showing the scale of like the fights and what this game is gonna be, it's gonna be freaking amazing. The animations were really good too. I thought the death animation was just awesome. Like tried to fly up, like didn't quite make it, and then just fell to the ground dead.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
yeah, that was neat. Now I'm curious also because I know there was an issue with the dragon there. I'm curious if that was a bug in the dragon itself and its behavior, or if it was just really confused because they were killing it so quickly. Because that was like a 40 to 60 man raid that was downed in what, like a minute and a half by like 6 people.
Yeah, and well, no, they had a whole bunch of people with them. It was more than 6, right? They had like 40 people there.
Oh, I didn't see like 40 or whatever.
Yeah, they had like a whole raid off to the side that came and joined them.
Oh
as
yeah,
they
I
were
saw
fighting
that
it.
for like a split second. They kind of showed it and then like panned away from it.
Yeah. I'm betting you is like it might. I'm wondering if it might have like clipped through the ground or something and then got stuck and couldn't do anything. But yeah, it was some kind of issue with the AI, obviously, and they will, I'm sure, get that sorted out because
Oh yeah.
we don't want world bosses getting killed because they're frozen.
Right. By the way, I want to point out the difference between the wingspan of this little griffin and this giant dragon. Like, as far as he was, their wingspans look similar, which means that because of perspective, right? Yeah, I see that. 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. We used a new thing, so okay, you should be able to hear them now. Hello? You would spite me like that. This is my husband, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, like, it really spoke volumes to how large this mount actually is, you know? Oh, sorry, this dragon, whatevs. I knew what I meant. Gosh, guys. What?
Uh-oh.
Seriously?
We're broken. All right, we're back.
There it is.
Now,
I'm
maybe.
gonna go pout. I'm just gonna go pout over in the corner. How about I bring it up here and then we'll just have it on top of the background that we normally have.
Sure.
That works.
But yeah, and it was interesting because like he said that's in a siege area, so that was kind of interesting to me to figure out. So is that a castle siege then?
You know, I was kind of confused when he said that too. So I wasn't sure. I almost, by the time he started describing everything that was going on with the area, I was like, this has got to be just a mock-up made for testing.
I'm wondering that too. He also said they were going to test it every day, right? There's going to be a siege every day.
Daily for like a 3-hour event. And yeah.
So
maybe
that's, yeah, I think that's just during testing maybe. And he said it was 100 on 100, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Or how many numbers? It was.
How many numbers?
I don't think it's the full 250 on 250 they were talking about.
There we go. I think that looks good.
Yeah, he said 100 v 100. I think he said that they're aiming to hit the 250 goal at some point during the alpha stuff, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I think you're asking what metro race, what race contributing to a metropolis, maybe?
Yeah. I'm curious, can Tolnar have their own cities? Or do they just like kind of...
I mean, they have the underground, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't like... because they're a mashup of all the races, kind of. Do they have their own culture and apply
That's-
specifically to metropolises and
I mean,
cities?
Takata's
an interesting question.
Takita. I'm going to call you Takita. Takita says yes. And Zerdia says yes, they are for castle siege. That are ways. Their ways are for the attackers to get buffs and force the defenders out of the castle.
It's Takeda?
The first one was correct.
So
Okay.
Which one was the first one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Takeda.
Takeda.
Sorry, Takeda.
Well, yeah, see, that's the thing, is I don't recall there being mentioned. I mean, unless that's new information with the dragons, like when you go to siege a castle, dragons appear every time you go to siege a castle. Because that would be an interesting addition. But if it
Yeah.
wasn't, like, I just assumed it was going to be something they dropped there so they could test a bunch of things at once.
I could see that as well. Because it's like, why? What would the lore reason be for 3 dragons spawning during a castle siege once the game is actually live?
Yeah, during every castle siege.
It'd be kind of weird that like these 3 dragons spawn and then the areas around them all turned like, you know, into their own biomes and stuff. It's like, why is this happening? I'm confused. But on another note, the winter biome is one of the better looking winter biomes I've seen in any MMO.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
love
Ice
it.
and everything, it just looks really good. It
Is
looks
this
like
our-
actual winter.
Is this our first time seeing ice officially? Like the way that's intended to be seen?
Actually, like, yeah, like an icy lake or something.
Yeah. It's the first
So
for me.
excited.
I don't know about you testers.
Well, I mean, I'm just meaning like that was how APOC looked in No, it was an APOC full.
I didn't play Epoxy.
I didn't play like the second little tiny map one.
Yeah, the second map I only played a couple times. Because about that time, it was, okay, rush and finish so I can get all the cosmetics from the APOC time period, and then I ducked out. That was my goal. That was my goal.
The only other time I saw ice was through like photos during the winter season when they were doing like little screenshots for the winter season. Sorry, I'm actually able to catch up with chat as like this video is
Dante.
showing. So
You've been streaming Steven dying for 2 hours and 5 minutes now.
yeah. Let's talk about a moment about the mechanics. I like that there's mechanics already, not just like, oh, he's swiping you while you're fighting and you're trying, like, no, there's actual mechanics, like the lines of the snow attack and the giant poison bubble and the after image of the fire dragon. Oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
little
I'm
mirror
curious
images.
about those
Yeah.
mirror images, the fire images.
Yeah,
whatever
me
you wanna
too.
call 'em. That's interesting. What if that's a spell you can cast? Just leave behind massive dragon images.
Ooh. Since there's just 5 castles in the whole server, and since putting siege flag will be so expensive, then killing dragons can give you extra perks against defenders. You can get extra rare res during the siege time. Yeah. I also remember them talking about getting specific things, like whoever wins those guild things gets to talk to a steward for goodies, and you can get specific resources, which is what Takeda was just talking about, and to craft top end gear during alpha, specifically during alpha. So
Yeah,
that would be an alpha thing. And there's the ad.
There's the
Of course.
Of course.
What are you guys most excited for with this bigger alpha test?
Ooh.
Because you guys have already seen some of the alpha testing, so I'm wondering what you think will be different with all these new people coming in. And we can go to level 15 now, I think they said as well, right?
Did they say
Yeah, sounded like that, yeah.
Yeah. You'll be able to go up to level 15.
Yeah, because he was saying there's, 49 different armor sets? Like actual full sets?
that? Dante says, personally testing it myself. That's the part I'm most excited for, which is feels for a lot of people. I thought 20. I think just for this test, I think it's 15, but maybe the plan overall is 50, right? And then like 20. I don't know.
I
15 could
think
be for
it'll
this
only
test
be
specifically.
it'll only be up to 25 for Alpha 1. Alpha 2
Yeah.
is when they introduce the cross classes, or whatever you want to call it, cross archetypes, which happens at 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm sure like as they go through the alpha testing phases, they might bump it up each time.
Yeah. But we're talking about like the next one happening in May for a few weeks specifically is 15.
Yeah, they said something about 15. For me, the exciting part of the alpha that I think is going to be interesting is going to be to see how already organized groups come into this game. So like how these guilds that already have hierarchies and structure and all that, and hundreds of members, a lot of who will have the alpha access, are going to come in, and see how all that is going to affect the game, and how politics are going to start evolving and stuff like that. And it'll just be like,
wait for the politics.
Yeah, it'll be a semblance of what will actually happen on launch, but like it'll start giving you an idea of how the politics of this game are going to start working, and how people are going to be fighting over resources, and how PvP is going to work. Are people just going to literally just a bloodfest? Is that what's going to happen? Or is it going to be a little more friendly and people let you level, and then occasionally there will be fighting?
Yeah, I agree. Lots of people that have access to it will be streaming. I know we will. We'll be streaming.
I will be streaming.
Yeah, we're gonna have, by the way, possibly a little bit of a unique take on streaming the game as well. Like, we're gonna be interacting with you guys a lot, and kind of having you guys decide what we test. So if you can't get into test yourself, but you're really curious about stuff, stop on by and just let us know what you want to see, and we'll be testing stuff based on what the community and
we could even do like
stream
polls
wants to
for
see.
each action, like where should we go, and then like make another poll kind of thing. Have you guys seen those streams where like you can like put in a command and then you can control the game? It's kind of like that, except for instead of commands, you guys actually make like conversation with us. Yeah, we
choose your own adventure stream.
Right, exactly.
Hot tub stream.
No, Z, no. Yeah, Takeda, Vertec and I at least do you have previous, I don't know what you bought level wise, Bardtic.
I have access for I got it through the charity stream.
Okay, cool.
I already have it. I don't know. I'm hoping that's included in the May testing. I have a feeling that first week one might not include the newest alpha testers, but that's just speculation. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
I know that they will be, if it's anything like previous, they'll be sending out emails. Right?
Yeah.
So if you have it, you'll get an email saying to join it.
And so I'm hoping I'll be in the May test, and I'll be streaming as much as possible. I'm gonna. The reason I'm working so much right now is so I can take that time off. I had originally planned to already be like, this was the time I was supposed to be taking off, and I was like, actually, I don't need this time off. Can I come work now?
Oh, no.
Can I actually come back in?
Just kidding. I want to work now.
But yeah, Takeda, we'll be there for all the testing phases. We'll be playing and streaming for all of them, all of them that we can. Put it that way. If it's still under NDA, then we won't be able to. Obviously.
With the obvious understanding of NDA, non-NDA stuff. One thing that I'm super excited for with Alpha 1 is the basic understanding of the crafting and stuff like that. They're not having a finished version of it, but very, very core version of crafting and gathering systems. It
sounds to me like it's going to be like a very simple, you found something on the ground so you can mine it like they've shown in previous streams, and once you do, you can literally just say, make this thing, and it's done.
Yeah.
Like there won't be any of the like glamour or glitz or extra systems that they were talking about possibly putting in.
Sorry, I got that.
Very,
Hold on.
Can't confirm. As of 4 hours ago, they sent out at least 8 email because I got one.
Yeah, they sent one. I was like, how much can I say here? I was looking through, and I think it's not under NDA.
I don't think so. Here's a great thing. There's actually a channel that they made and I'm only saying this because in that channel that they made under May testing, they said that they made a new channel for people that are joining so that they know that that area is for non-NDA stuff.
Okay. Cool. So yeah,
just
I
gotta
will
find
be in. Wait, is the May 14th through 21st? That's
Yes.
the week-long test, right?
That's
Okay,
the
I'll be
week-long
in that
test.
one, guys. Woohoo.
Ooh-ha. Ooh-ha.
Yeah. They said earlier today to check your RSVP to the email.
Also, it went into my spam box. So for anyone with Gmail, check your spam box.
Yes, check your spam box indeed.
If you are a part of this.
Mine went into a new thing that they have called Top Picks, and apparently I don't agree with them. But another top pick that they have for me is Real Time FMV Horror Game.
You love horror games. You
They
love
don't
scary
know
stuff.
me at all. But yeah, so then there's some art stuff, but there's a whole lot of stream stuff, like a whole lot of stream stuff.
Yeah. Which, man, Twitch was killing me earlier.
Sorry.
The effing
I'm-
ads.
Yes. I'm like looking at the chat and it says, does caravan owner lose all resources? Did they have the chance to recover effing ads?
Yeah, I was taking notes for the entire stream, which is why you never see
Hello,
me really
Zalek.
typing in there because I'm always writing stuff down.
Yeah, and I'm
But
doing
today
the
it decided
opposite.
to act up, and it would interrupt the stream right in the middle of me taking down a response, and I have to refresh everything. And
Wait, I don't get ads.
I do.
I do.
Are you subbed to Ashes?
I don't think you can sub to Ashes.
I don't think you can either, but I have ads. I have
I get ads every time I open up their channel.
I have Twitch.
I get it at the beginning. I didn't get a single ad during the whole thing.
Well-
yeah. So network error. I don't know if anybody
that
has
network
that one.
error
It
number
cuts out
2000 or
for
whatever.
you.
and you have to
and then you have
refresh
to.
the-
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't get any ads. I'm so confused.
I was like, what? How did you get 0 ads? I have an ad. Yeah, at the very beginning you get an ad. Welcome, Zalik. Thank you for joining us. If you
Yeah.
like testing, I have
And
a
as-
spare $500. Yeah.
And as Wizzy said, Wizzy, you already have the Alpha 1 access, right? Or the Alpha 2 access. So it'll only be like $250 to $100 and something for you.
Plus lifetime.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's scaled.
Yeah.
Brady.
I think with all the stuff, all the stuff you're gonna get for the cosmetic shop, the points, or embers, whatever they're called, the game time, I think it'll be worth it. Plus, I want to play with you, so you better buy it.
Oh, peer pressure.
Do it.
Yeah, so if you have a Kickstarter or a different backing package, you can pay only up to whatever the max would be for 500, so 250 in that case, to get to the 500 tier. They actually don't do that very often, so perhaps this might mean that you can upgrade your package to higher tiers as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna look at what is offered. I might upgrade even though I already have the access.
I mean-
There's a good enough goodies.
I was having discussion with another streamer the other day. You guys think buying that pack would be worth it if you already have an A1 key? Probably not. I mean, if you won the A1 key, it's up for. I mean, it depends. Do you want to spend $500 for all of the other goodies that come with it besides just Alpha 1 access, which means future access, not just Alpha 1. I don't know if the key is just Alpha 1. Or if it includes Alpha 2, stuff like that.
And I said this earlier in the stream, you don't want to look at these packs as, is it worth it? It's more, do I want to support the company? That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yes,
It's
lifetime
like,
sub. Ugh, another ad. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
Did they say that they're refreshing the lifetime sub? I thought that was
I don't think so.
no-go.
They said that more details is coming May 4th for a sneak peek of May 5th. That's what they said.
Because I don't think they're going to be bringing back the lifetime sub thing, because that was a very big ordeal just to bring it back for the summer crowdfunding immediately after Kickstarter.
They
Yeah.
did say that they were going to be kind of basing it off of the original option. So I don't know. But Steven was starting to go down the route of like, if you technically look at all the quality or worth of everything else, you're technically at the end of it paying maybe $50 specifically for Alpha 1 access, including everything else that you're paying for. So they're making it worth the money, it sounds like, from what he just said. So
And if I recall correctly, the Alpha 1 pack had extra beta keys.
yes.
Like that tier had extra beta keys so you could give to friends or whatnot. So
Yes.
I mean, if that's something you want to do if your friends don't have an account
Or you could give it
You
to
have
your
that buddy-
favorite streamer and have them raffle off the ticket to another community member if you don't have friends. Because I can't convince my friends to play Ashes, so we're giving you my free keys.
yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Like, there's only like 2 friends I can convince to play,
Yeah.
and everyone else, like, I'm gonna get 5 free keys for each beta. So
Yeah. I have
What is
friends I
this
could
friends?
convince to play, just none of them would get enough use out of a beta key. Like once the game is out, they'd play it, but I don't see any of them being like getting their money's worth out of a beta key.
Yeah. But you know, when the time gets closer and we actually get our keys, we're gonna be doing you know, raffles and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll think about what we're gonna do with it, and how we're gonna give it away. But it's gonna be definitely
we'll come up with
community
some fun
related.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be very much a golden feather way of giving away things.
True story. It's basically probably going to be a, hey, if you show up here and you're active in chat and telling us what to test, then we'll get you in here to test too. Here's a beta key.
Or, you know, helping out your fellow community members with questions that they have. Yes, I understand that this person has probably asked the same question that's been asked like 1,000 times, but you're still being patient with them and giving them an answer. We appreciate that.
We need to be nice to new members because
Yes.
otherwise they don't want to play the game.
Exactly. Nice? What's that?
Nice. Who cares about nice? Speaking of, so random thing, because I was just digging through the notes I did actually take for the live stream. How about that naval combat and how you initiate it? Basically the same thing as land combat. You just decide if you want to shoot a cannon at somebody and you're in combat.
I see this going terribly because he's like, yeah, there's stations for the weapons. So I see some random person be like, well, I'm deciding for the whole crew that we're engaging this. Like,
Right.
here we go. Good luck, everyone. I didn't bring anything I'm worried about losing. Hope you guys didn't.
Yeah,
Right.
although you know what, I didn't really catch if he said that if someone gets corrupt, or if the ship quote unquote gets corruption because it engaged in combat as a combatant and killed somebody who didn't fight back, if that would make everybody sitting on the ship corrupt or just people with like quote unquote positions on the ship, like the person
Yeah.
manning the weapons.
I feel like you kind of have to flag the whole ship because otherwise there's going to be some weird stuff going on where people are going to be firing. Well, I guess AoEs don't technically hit anyone if you haven't engaged in combat, right? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking of these like siege weapons on these boats and you're firing them at each other's boats and maybe there's someone who just is choosing not to fight back. And so if the whole boat isn't flagged, you're trying to kill the enemy boat because they're trying to kill you. And then you get a bunch of corruption because most of the boat didn't fight back.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
That's-
confused.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. Yeah. And waves, my favorite class is Vec, hands down. Somebody actually asked earlier, and I didn't. I think we went off
Class or
track before I
race?
answered it.
Yeah.
Race.
You said class.
Favorite race.
I'm right there with you. I'm all about Vec. Potentially Tolinar. I just don't know enough about Tolinar. I think Tolinar could be cool, but
And I'm
Yeah,
the one that
Vec are
everybody
awesome.
hates.
elves.
Yeah.
It's because you're
Screw the
short and you want to be
elves.
tall.
I know, it is. I have a short complex, okay? I'm allowed.
But yeah, that's also with the Metropolis. That's the Metropolis I want to see is the Vec stuff. Because they're all like
Yeah.
Mesoamerican with the pyramids and the things. Oh my gosh. I want to see it. I want to see it. But and then let's see, who was it? And then 46 Nation says, are there things that the three of you are most looking forward to in testing, or just getting in game? Me personally, I don't really look forward to any one specific thing in testing, because I tend to be very random until I find something that draws my attention, and then I get very focused on that. And then I'm very random until something draws my attention and I get focused on that. Like in previous games, I literally would just wander around and find something that looked like I might be able to break it, and then I would try to break it.
Yes, you would. It would be a little difficult for me because I'm a little bit different. Like, I do a slight wandering around, but I have like an end goal where I'm trying to get, and then this guy's just like, what's under this thing? Can I smash this pot? Is it Zelda?
Yes. Can I climb this mountain and get over the artificial wall they're trying to create? Can I get under the mountain and get past the wall? Can I get under the map?
Can I fall through into the underrealm?
Right.
Yeah. Like that's how I test games. I go everywhere, and I look for things and stuff that looks like I could break it. And if I want to break it, I focus on breaking it for a while.
For me, it's like there's so many things I want to test, but one of the things I want to which probably won't come for a while, but is going to be like the dual archetypes, and figuring like builds, basically see how the passive skills interact with the archetype skills, interact with the weapon skills, and seeing how completely. How you can build up this because when I'm looking at when each tree has their own, and then you have 30 to 50 different weapons, all with their own skill trees as well, and then you have 8 other archetypes you can mix with your archetype. The amount of builds is just going to be insane. So it's like, oh man, I really want to just test out all of those. See what kind of cool things I can build and create. And night, Birdie.
Good night, Birdie. Thanks for hanging out for our doubly long stream.
Rest well. Well, yeah.
Which
doubly...
I think we could wrap up soon, because we could chat about this all night.
Pretty much.
My thing I'm looking forward to is checking out healer combos, because that's what I'm planning on maining. I kind of want to get my feels on what a healer X is going to feel like, and figure out which one feels the best to me for now, because again, these things are going to change a lot.
Actually, this discussion, I think, was the only topic we didn't go over, which was the forget which one it was, but one of the posts was about how different the archetypes are going to be, and if people think it's gonna if there's going to be a meta, or what all that stuff is.
Yeah, and that one, I think we've actually talked about that one a couple times, which is kind of why I kind of skipped over it myself.
Yeah,
that's one of those things that I don't think there's going to be any one meta, because they've already said that they're going to be eliminating the direct balancing from one class to one other class, and one class must be equal to all the others. They're balancing based on group dynamics, and when they do that, there's way too many combinations of stuff on top of that. It's basically you need this kind of class combined with all these other classes, and they've increased the base party size to 8 out of the normal 5 or 6 that a lot of games do. So they did that specifically to be able to include all the classes in a party. So I think there's going to be maybe metas for certain situations. Hey, when you go into this boss, it would be ideal if you had this kind of group composition, because, and then they insert reason, there's a lot of random ads that come, so you're going to need a mage that has long distance AoE available. And
I think there's enough ways to play the game as well, that there will be different things for so many different situations that you'll always have some kind of role. It's just about, if you want to play a specific role, there may end up starting to be a meta. But then also, once the meta starts to become stagnant or something where it does become like that, then you make balance changes, and suddenly everyone is now scrambling to make a new meta.
So mix it up.
That was very obvious with World of Warcraft. you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, talk about alt hell. Ugh.
I used to get so angry at that game until I kind of figured out that, well, they kind of mix it up so that any metas get broken and some new forgotten class can become a meta.
The new meta.
But then some classes just never became a meta.
Then they just
It just
never gave
got-
love.
They just never hit that sunlight.
Dante says,
They did eventually. It just took so long that you're like, I'm not
yeah.
playing for 2 years for the class I want to play to become like really good.
Right. Dante says it would be interesting if Ash does put a skill floor on metas. Not a lot of MMORPGs do that these days. Like, this will be the most efficient tactic for this particular thing, but only if you're skillful enough to pull it off. Otherwise, you have to try it in a different way. I like that. It's cool.
And honestly, I think that might be part of what we're going to have to look at when it comes to those open world dungeons and raids that are going to adjust to your skill. And I'm using gigantic mental quotey fingers on skill because they still haven't released how they're going to measure that you do better or poorer.
Yeah.
The other thing is with like a lot of the PvE content being open world, and then as they've said, there's going to be hard counters to certain things in the game. So like certain classes will just have hard counters. So then you're just playing like this chess game where you're trying to anticipate what the enemy is going to fight you with, and you're bringing that kind of class to the battle. And then you're like, so yeah, you're going back and forth with the enemy while trying to still fight this PvE boss. And it'll be interesting.
I think it was not account wide. I mean, I think account wide, but single character. Is that?
Account wide, but single character, most likely with a cooldown, is what it seemed like Steven had said.
Yeah, and I selected the wrong sir. My bad. But yeah, we talked about that when we first started up this evening, a couple hours ago. But it's some people are quite upset about that. Some people are quite upset.
I agree.
I think it's all right. I'm completely indifferent to it, to be honest. I've played other games where if you get a cosmetic item, you give it to a character, and it was then character bound. So if they're going to also let it be tradable back to another character, I'm fine with it.
I would like it if they are going to make it single use, like completely. I'd like them to make it single use per server at least. That way, if you want to like re-roll on a new server with friends, you can still use your cosmetics.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good thing too. Actually, I would put that in the suggestion box.
Can do.
Wave says, I feel like Steven felt like the game wasn't as good as he thinks, but it might also be because of the video about not believing the hype. I mean, people are hyped about this game. They're going to be hyped about this game. This is one of the more promising, I guess I'll say, MMOs that have come across the Kickstarter board in a little while. It's still going somewhere. It didn't miserably fail, you know. It's fully funded by Steven himself, so the money grabbing is not really a thing. But I mean, whenever you get a X amount of people that are just excited about anything, and I mean, there's different levels or reasons for being excited. There's the people that just found out about Ashes and are super excited. There's the people that have been supporting and we're getting closer to actual content that we've been waiting for that are super excited. There's people who are actually getting a chance to be able to play where before they didn't think they were going to be able to, who are super excited. So like there's multiple levels of super excited for different reasons, and I think sure it may seem as like a super overhyped thing, but I really do think that Steven does a very, very good job of bringing the reality to it. Like when he said, hey, we are selling it. It's going to be $500. Don't buy this if you're wanting to play a game. This is not a game for playing. This is a game for testing and giving feedback. The end. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Waves, I think. Go ahead, Bardtic.
Oh, I was going to say the reason he did that is because there's so many people that are just dishing on the game because, you know, it's buggy and this isn't perfect and that isn't perfect. And the reason being is that there are so many people that are used to games that will be completely undercover and not see the light of day until they're about 6 months away from releasing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they'll open, like, here's the open beta or here's the closed beta. Come on in and play. It's not under NDA, but it's basically perfect game. They're just polishing the end game stuff at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to set expectations because no other company has done this open development cycle where they're showing you the alpha at this point in time. So he's trying to make sure people understand it. It's something Margaret said, that it's clearly on the mind of the developers that they're probably going to lose some people over this testing cycle. There's going to be a bunch of people who come in and say this is a buggy piece of shit game, and they're going to lose interest. But what Margaret said is they're still going to come back if the game releases as an amazing game, as the game we want it to be. They're gonna buy their month of game time, and if it is that amazing game, they're gonna keep playing the game.
Yeah.
So it's it was clearly on the mind because she wanted to get that out there. She was like, people are going to come back even if they don't like it during the alpha periods.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, like, I've heard people say, why would I pay $500 to play test a game? Like, I can go sign up for Elion's closed beta test right now for free. I don't have to pay a cent. Why should I pay $500? Well, you're paying $500 to support the game because, yes, it's fully backed, but there's always, like, having more money means that you can implement more things. You can buy more people to implement the things faster. You can buy better things to make the implementation better. All these things cost money. And the other thing is, this isn't a game that's been ported over. This is a game that's being developed. These tools, the video that they showed today with the buoy, the buoyancy, I was going to call them buoys, but that video shows that they're working on the specific tools necessary for the water to react the way that they want it to react, for you as a player to be swimming and not like how I've seen on some other games like Guild Wars, where like my character thinks she's still swimming even though she's on land, and she's like doing the whole like open mouth to closed mouth trying to like hold her breath thing. Like these things are important. I mean, it comes with time, and they're not a giant corporation that has all these tools already pre-built. They're custom making these tools, and it just, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like, I'm a little bit older than I look, and yeah, I hate when people do this, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time, but I've tested more games than, like, MMOs specifically, than many people who are jumping into Ashes have played in their lifetime.
Me included.
Because that's all I did for a while. I was a poor kid, and so I would go and I would seek out any games that were alpha or beta test, and I would play those until they went pay to play. As soon as they released and they cost a subscription or they cost a buy-in fee, I would stop playing it, I would walk away, and I would find another game to test. Mm-hmm. So I could probably, if I were to sit here and write a laundry list, probably played about 30 MMOs. Like 17 of them you've never heard of in your life, I guarantee you, because as soon as they went live, nobody bought it. But like after seeing all those tests of actual games that were in process of being built from the ground up, like,
Dante says he's young as AF. Could probably be legal for us to adopt him. Is that a request, Dante?
But I mean, I'm just saying we get along fine. But yeah, like there's some stuff that a lot of people these days really don't understand, because a lot of the big publishers they'll hire teams to do all the testing, which isn't a bad thing in itself. It really isn't. But when they do that, the public doesn't see the actual testing phases, so they really don't know what it means. Like, you're playing an alpha. This is not even ready to see the light of a demo floor.
Mm-hmm.
Young Chi.
Hey, just saying, our daughter is already going to be completely ready to go with gaming and probably some motorcycle riding. But yeah, I mean, I agree with what Sir Knight said also, is, you play test to make the game better. If you play test so that you can't complain, oh no.
I'm looking at chat right now. I'm like, I'm not saying anything right now.
No, see, the both of us are we both look a lot younger than we are. But yeah, Nosy.
Add another 1 digit in front of that. Yeah, add a 10. There you go.
But yeah, Nosy. We Chibi and I did not get preggers.
No.
I have a little girl that I brought into the relationship.
Yeah, I adopted.
Bardic's the cousin.
What?
Yeah. She's super
Yeah,
adorable.
you're getting all excited. Jeepers, jeepers.
I know. No, it's okay, Lizzie. I actually get that a lot for some reason. They always think for text my dad. I don't get it. I went to a store and I was like, no, I got this. And the person in front of us was like, they grow up fast, don't they? And I'm like, for fuck's sake, I was just chilling out and then boom.
Giving Z a heart attack over here.
Aw, poor Z. Let me go ahead and transition this over to fan focus. But somebody asked what class we were planning on playing, and I'm planning on playing cleric or heals.
I'm gonna be tank.
I'm maybe gonna be bard. I don't know yet. I have yet to see the class, so I'm not committing. But
Bardtic doesn't play a bard.
I might not. It might be the meme. I have to
That's
see.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If you want to see some tank testing, stop by and see me.
And
Believe you me,
same with the
that's
heals.
the class I'll be. Yeah.
We'll probably be running together often because my favorite thing to do is to like aggro everything and then go running for help to protect.
Run away, run away.
Train.
Usually it's because like I'm running after him and then like the mobs have moved since he ran past them and now I am close enough in proximity that they have now aggroed me and I'm like, help! I'm just trying to follow you. But yes, this fan focus is by Tiny Caesar. I'm gonna call him Tiny Caesar.
Snickzer.
Snickzer. I really like it. This is like a paladinish. It's Simurg about to face off against a ogre or 5 orc. I don't know. A couple of things. I
like it. I like it.
I don't know if orcs have horns, so I don't know what those are.
Oh yeah, Takeda, clerics are actually supposed to be more frontline, so I'm expecting clerics to be more standalone, capable.
Clerics are gonna be definitely like nigh unkillable on their own. I'm pretty sure, unless you're a super high damage dealer, because they're gonna be full plate wearing frontline melee, but also healing people characters.
Oh, we got some DPS in the chat. Rogue main possibly. Nice. My favorite thing, I have to say, like, if I'm remembering correctly, like one of the original things was the like rogue archer, I want to say, mixture with the crow, and he was like parkouring off of like sides of buildings and stuff, and everybody was like, oh, is there gonna be parkour? And they're like, probably not, and they were like, their dreams were crushed. But yeah, nice. Rogue, bard, cool. Really happy to see
Be a
those.
tank bard if that counts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna sing his insults at the other person.
As a Vec, I could see a tank bard being awesome. They're like chanting war hymns as they're fighting.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Double bard, nice. I could also
Yeah.
imagine, what was it? Oh man, I just lost it. Boo. Anyway, here's the other image by Withy Woodell.
Anyway, next picture.
It's
Windy window. Or Withy window. What did I say? Windy.
Withy Window.
There's
Tricksters
even
that I'm
a
looking
theme
for
with the
details.
proposal thing and
Nice.
the with the sim and the proposal there.
Keyless,
Why is Sim
Look at
so
that timing.
small in that?
yeah.
The paladin looks tiny compared to.
I thought
Maybe
it
it's
was
just
a
because
dwarf
it's kneeling
paladin.
down. Is it?
I don't know. That's what I went with.
Yeah.
Dwarf
okay, that makes
paladin.
sense.
He's got a beard. He's got to be a dwarf.
Holding a dragon's head, you know, to like
with
an
a ring
elven-
on its tongue.
Yeah, exactly.
How romantic. I love it.
It's Simurg and he looks
It
paladinish.
was Ultramil.
Yeah. Simurg and Ultramil. She's a goddess. Yeah, right. Those are the fan focus we have. Also, check out C's stuff. C has amazing things. Just check it out. You won't regret it.
She has
Gonna
a
set
post
her
on the
off again.
forums also. C's list of wondrous stuff and things, or whatever it's titled. That's its title now.
A warrior, mage warrior, or a warrior mage. Nice. That's cool. Is Vertic a DJ? He actually does, in fact, like to DJ.
DCC.
So.
I'm making the dance club do the dancey things.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and transition here into our wrap up. There's a lot that we got to talk about this week because we basically smashed 2 weeks worth of content together in one. So thank you guys for living through 2.5 to almost 3 hours at this point of our shenanigans, and you know, still being alive. So. And most importantly, we've founded a new religion, Goddess of the Palms. Yes, thank you, Dante. I will put that somewhere on our Twitter.
Goddess of Palms.
Goddess of
Palms up,
Palms.
everybody. Palms up.
Goddess of Palms sounds dirty. You would see.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Rude, right? Jeez.
Don't do that, Z. You be you.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for spending your time here with us. You could have been doing anything with your life for the past, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yes.
You chose to spend at least some of that with us. Maybe
And-
not the whole thing, but that's cool.
You know,
We
you
met
stopped
we
by, you chatted. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Bardtic, our favorite thing to do before we end. What is one final thing that sticks out with you with today's topic, or just something that you haven't gotten to chat about that you're just like burning to say? Just leave them with your last words.
I hope bards are good.
And those were the last words Bardtic said.
And then bards came out and you
Last
never heard
words
from me
ever.
again.
Oh no. Goddess of Palm sounds like a relaxation center. So okay, Vertic.
Thank you, Zeridius.
What Jay talks about you guys so much.
Oh.
Aw, thank you.
Assuming he means Jalon.
Yes.
Yeah, we dig Jalon.
Yeah, thank you.
Good people's there. So if you
Yes.
came from his show, then I feel honored. The Kieran mount.
Oh yes, super
Just saying.
pretty.
I want it. Yeah, the one thing. Yep, the Kieran mount and the dragons. Because I really want the Kieran mount, and the dragons were just look like they're on their way to be impressive fights.
You also
Yes.
want to mount the dragons as well, so yeah.
Yes, that too.
I was
Can I
kind
have
of
that as my
hoping-
mount?
I was
want
hoping
it.
they'd drop like the eggs so you could have like a little mini dragon. You know. So, thank you. That's
Owzy, I did not mean that as dirty.
Jeez, so rude. The thing that sticks with me the most, just being able to play with you guys, just being able to stream with you guys and having the non-NDA stuff and being super excited to test out not only the class features but also the crafting things. Those are things I'm looking forward to the most, and just seeing how this game interacts as a whole. I'm super excited. Welcome in, Sir Knight. Thank you guys so much. Yes, non-NDA streaming is going to be 10 out of 10. I agree. All right, and with that, we will see you next week with our guest, SOS please. And Bardtic can be found on Twitch and Twitter. I'll post those again as soon as we go into the outro. But until then, I hope you guys have a lovely week. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I hope to see all of you back next week for more Ashes of Creation chatting, and soon TM more Ashes of Creation stuff in general. So, good night. See you next Friday.
Thanks, everyone.
Later on, everyone. Thank you again for your time and interactions.
Yes. And good night.